Athrun Zala! Chris Hackney is the new Athrun in the New York dubs. That's the other one. That's the other Seed voice actor in this game. I knew there was at least one more. Okay. And her dialogue got cut off.
City and catch up with them.
All right, well, we're completely cut off the first part of your sentence anyway. Anyway, whatever, we're doing Cyno's quest. He has a part 2. I don't know why he has a part 2, but he has a part 2. I'm okay with that. We like Cyno. Cyno. They say it's Cyno. It's supposed to be, Cyno. But yeah. We like Chris Hackney. We like Cyno. Let's go play some Yu-Gi-Oh! With him, hopefully. Last time a non-Archon character got a part 2 quest was Yoimiya's. Hers was alright. We have a decent precedent for these, I would say.
Wow, the academia sure is busy during the day. But where should we go looking for people that we know?
Traveler, Paimon.
How very convenient.
Cyno! It's been so long since we last saw you!
I have not come to this country in months!
Welcome back to Sumeru City. I'm delighted to meet you again. So, what brings you back here?
Oh, nothing in particular. Paimon just saw a really big mushroom out on the road the other day and suddenly missed all our friends in Sumeru.
Funnily enough,
You see, I added
we were
Paimon,
reminiscing
I
about
added
you
Paimon,
recently,
I
too.
had to. I got
It was
rid of
at a group
Gladio.
dinner. I look forward to hearing
Because
about
I
your
do hate
travels.
him, but I hate a lot of things
Something
about
tells
that
me We
game.
must have a lot to catch up on.
He's far
Really?
from the worst
You
thing
were
about it.
thinking of us too? What a coincidence!
Indeed. Or as I call it, the Biryani factor.
The what now? Please don't start with the technobabble Cyno. It's too late. It's too early for that. I'm not nearly drunk enough.
You really want me to say the rest? Okay. It's always rice to meet stew again.
Oh! Oh, he's just making puns again. I forgot. I forgot that was your other personality trait besides Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, darn, he said it.
I win the bet, apparently. I don't know what she's talking about.
You like that one, huh? You must if you remember it after all this time. Admit the truth. You have long been in awe of my razor-sharp wit.
I really have.
All right. Here's your 500 Mora.
I just realized I need to get the hell off of a Hydro Traveler. Hydro Traveler low-key sucks. Need to get back on the Dendro one.
You're exaggerating. It's only 500 Mora.
Yeah, well, I'm broke.
Hey, 500 Mora is still a lot of snacks to Paimon.
I hate
All
you.
right. I'll treat you to some desserts later. Anyway, I'm actually investigating a case right now. My mind is focused on work, which is why I didn't complete the joke at first.
A case? What happened?
Nothing major. But after finding out who was involved, I decided, on reflection, to handle this one myself.
Need any help? We only came here to hang out, so we've got the time. You may as well take us with you, and then when you're done, we can,
God, I just remember how much his first character quest sucked.
Such enthusiasm.
Oh, I hope this is at least
Are
a
you
little
worried
better.
I'll forget about treating you to some sweets if you're not around to remind me?
What? No! Oh, was it really that obvious?
Obvious enough. Still, that's a fine idea. You are the
You
heroes
had time
of
on you that
Sumeru.
implies you play
It
Genshin.
makes perfect sense to work together. All right, follow me.
I don't want people to think I play this game. How will I ever face my family? Let me get off my Mono Geo team. Not that it matters. Not that it really matters. I doubt we're gonna see much like combat gameplay, but still. I have my look. I just need to know that she's here. She's all that's keeping me together, okay? I need her to be here.
Do you see him? The old man flailing around?
Oh, is
Yeah,
he the one you
flailing.
wanted to talk to about the case?
Who is she again, Dusk? The character that was so good even Stu was
Correct.
able for a brief time to
His
enjoy and
name
appreciate
is
Genshin
Cyrus, a former
because her
Spontamod
arc was
sage.
that good.
He taught both me and Lisa.
Huh? Cyno's teacher is in trouble?
It's ridiculous. I'm just an old man who enjoys a spot of gardening, shopping, and wine.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe. Ask
So a
him.
person targets an old retiree.
Unless you mean you find it hard to believe him too, which I know you do.
Professor,
I know
brought
nothing
some
will
friends.
convince you. But it is a fact.
Ah, Cyno. Now who do we have here? Hold on, let me think. A flying fairy dressed in white? A youth who does not seem to hail from this land? My goodness. You must be
You're Guts, the
legendary
legendary
traveler
black
and pilot.
swordsman!
I've heard all about what you've done for Sumeru.
Wow, looks like we're really famous.
Still bully her?
I've
I would
told him
personally
about you
not bully
before.
her.
You are my
She's
friends,
been through
after
some
all.
trauma. I don't think that's what she needs in her life, but what am I gonna do to stop you?
That's right. Let me summarize the situation. A couple of days ago, Professor Cyrus suddenly received a threat letter.
A
A
threat
threader,
letter?
if you will.
Exactly. Who sends a threat letter to an old man like me, for goodness sake?
A big
This is the
jerk
letter in
face.
question.
That's who.
Cyrus, I have uncovered your secret. If you wish to prevent it from going public, leave 10 million mora at the back door of the cafe. Secondly, don't come looking for me. You'll never find me. But I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. Finally, if you dare to report this to the Matra, there will be consequences. Wow, they sure didn't mince their words.
Clearly, this person must be desperate for Mora.
10 million more. What a joke. I'm just a single retiree with nothing to my name beyond
I
the
don't even know
tomatoes
how
in
much
my
that
garden.
is.
Where do people think I'm hiding 10 million more, huh? And
Up
my
your butt.
tomatoes?
There were no witnesses.
Tomatoes!
So currently the letter is all we've got. So Traveler, Paimon, let's put our heads together.
Ready when you are, Chief.
Too.
All right, take a look.
El
Do you
Capitano.
see anything suspicious?
I can't read. Your brother considers you a weirdo for playing Yakuza, oh my god. From his description, sounds like the threat letter didn't come in an envelope, it was simply written on a crude piece of paper, and left for Cyrus to find. Is the ink sus?
Yes. Some of the strokes are blurry.
I knew it.
So is there something wrong with the ink?
Possibly. And I bet the paper has something to do with it.
Oh,
Most of the
no,
paper
never
around
mind.
Here is much smoother than this, and the ink is absorbed quickly so it doesn't run. This paper, meanwhile, it's very coarse
You
grained.
say tomato, and I
Almost as if
say
it's
tomato.
made
You
from
say
some sort of
potato,
plant
and I
matter.
say potato.
It's certainly not the same paper as we use in the academia, but the ink is nothing special. Just regular black ink that gets a blue tinge when applied to paper.
So do we think the culprit has a connection with the academia or not? Wait, check this out. Looks like this part got wet at some point.
Agreed. The staining suggests
You're
it
playing
was a
Zero and
colored
doing the
liquid,
Hostess
not
Club
plain water.
game.
It also looks like it was wiped off with a damp cloth.
That's the best part.
Colored liquid. So
You tell him that.
tea? Wine?
Hey!
Looks like we're thinking along similar lines. Let's go talk to Arof. There are some things I'll need him to take care of.
And Alarov would be not here. Ooh, shit. Just cleared my marker, didn't I? Actually, you know what? While I have this open, 1 second. I no longer need to do busy work and hunt mecha. Go away, thank you. I immediately remember why I haven't been back to Sumeru in a year. I hate this place. It's too vertical. Oh my god, it's still inside the fucking place. I should have just stayed in. I'm an idiot. Again, it's almost like the map here is kind of hard to read. Weird. Kuga and Gills would also be good. Yeah, that's, those are ones I definitely thought of, but... unrealistic, unfortunately.
Arav. Ah, there he is.
Mahamatra Cyno. Sir Cyrus. Ah, and the Traveler and Paimon. It's been a while.
As such, I'm inclined to believe that the culprit in this case is a student at the academia. Somebody young and strapped for cash. Oh, one last thing. I'd start your investigation by taking a look at the cafes in the city.
Oh, of course! You think the culprit spilled their coffee on the ladder, huh?
They do look like coffee stains to me. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the letter is written on a type of scented paper that has aromatics added during the manufacturing process. The kind often provided as writing material for customers in cafes and taverns.
Ah, of course.
X-Men 97
yes,
was
like they
Cyno,
sell in
nice.
the gift shops. I remember now. Zaha Hadid bought some a while back. She said she was going to use it as wrapping paper for a vase.
Understood. I'll assemble a team to investigate the points of interest immediately.
You have my gratitude.
One last thing. Send some Matra to guard the entrances and exits of Sumeru City. And change into plain clothes. Don't let them see you coming.
Will do.
Great thinking, Cyno. So, where do we think the culprit's at right now?
Up your butt.
Yeah, they've probably been lying low at home waiting to see how Cyrus reacts.
You're right, Paimon.
Really? Which part?
The culprit's approach. Whatever happens, they need this Mora. But just because they warned Professor Cyrus not to go to the Matra, doesn't mean they know what he'll do next. So, like you said, they need to wait and see. And crucially, the culprit said they'd be watching the Professor's every move.
Huh? Wait, are you saying...
Found you!
What are you doing?
You wrote the threat letter.
Oh.
I don't know what
Lip
you're talking
flap.
about. What threat
Budget.
letter?
I sensed someone was watching us from the shadows the moment we entered the House of David. You managed to stay relatively well hidden for someone reckless enough to threaten Professor Cyrus. There are a lot of people here, but we were looking specifically
It's meant to be a term for
Arav.
evil rider. That's
Whoever
not
followed
what
us
the
whole
word
way was
outsider
likely to be the
means.
culprit.
I was just listening.
So the
in,
premise
that's
of the
all.
show is immediately
you know something
flawed.
big's going down when Mahamatra Cyno shows up, right? So I got a little curious. What's the big deal?
You smiled when Arav left. I saw it as clear as day.
Is smiling a crime now?
There are coffee stains on the letter. You mixed some coffee with water, gently smeared it onto the paper, then wiped it off with a wet cloth, all to create the impression that the letter was written at a cafe. Closing off the exits to the city doesn't affect you, because you already live here. And as long as the Matra were focused on the cafes, you would be free from scrutiny. The cafe was a red herring all along. You had to be somewhere where you could monitor the professor's movements.
You can't
I'm
pin this
so
on
sick
me.
of this
I haven't
pointing
done
animation.
anything.
Really?
Holy
Then
shit,
why
it's
are
the
you
cucked
shaking
man.
like a leaf?
The guy who
The
got
innocent
cucked
have no reason to fear the matcha.
for 2 hours
But
straight.
you, your heart's racing, and your eyelids are twitching. You're a terrible liar.
I'm shocked they bothered to animate that
I would never.
with how awkward this has been.
Don't try anything or you'll pay the
Like
price.
already a better I do too,
Now
yeah.
come with me.
The whole evil riders forced to team up. It's just Suicide Squad, if that's the idea. It's just Kamen Rider Suicide Squad.
Well, that was over quickly. Cyno already caught the guy.
He's just that good.
You're telling me. One minute I go out for a quick smoke, the next minute I see Arav already on his way back to meet up with Cyno. Looked like a young guy, too. Couldn't have been much more than 30. But after what he's done, I'm afraid he's ruined his whole future.
Everyone, it's all over.
Gosh, that was so fast.
All right, short
The
quest. Thank
culprit's
you all very
name
much
is
for coming out.
Raka.
Special thanks.
A 16-year-old student in the Rataoist Darshan.
Huh?
16? Cyrus thought he looked 30-something.
We checked his records. He's 16, a third-year student.
I would not know. All NPCs look alike
But
to
he
me.
looks so old.
Is that racist?
Yeah, seriously.
This dude looks like a 20-year-old man wearing a
He's
YouTuber
too
old man
young
costume
for the
again,
criminal
see?
life. What the devil drove him down this path?
When
It's
you
fine,
question
okay?
the culprit
NPCs
regarding
have
his
no rights.
motives, He...
They're not real people like you and me,
Oh,
chat.
just spit it out. Nothing can surprise me at this point.
Very well. It's our understanding that Araka is a mediocre student who has been underperforming in his classes. He started taking extra tutoring to improve his grades, but developed a gambling habit around the same time and lost
I wish
a lot
this
of
guy's
mora.
name was Olav
Down on
instead
his
of
luck, he went
Arav,
to
so
the
I can make
tavern
an
for a
all
drink
over pants
and
off
overheard
joke.
some people chatting about Sir Cyrus's comfortable retirement. They mentioned that he's always arguing about his tomato plants with some old woman on the street.
Some old woman on the street?
Stu, that's not
Gracious.
true.
Has that rascal attended a single
This guy
one
has
of
a
his classes?
mustache.
That old woman is Kasharwar's very own professor, Zaha Hadi. How can he not know who Zaha Hadi is?
Is this going somewhere?
Oh, right, yes. So another thing. We don't just argue about tomato plants. And what are they trying to insinuate
What do you
by
think this is? Gundam,
comfortable
the witch from
retirement?
Mercury?
A man grows a few vegetables and suddenly he's living a life of luxury?
Maybe it's more the fact that you have the time to grow vegetables in the first place.
Araka mentioned he'd heard a rumor, alleging that Sir Cyrus illegally obtained a large sum of money from the desert before retiring, and kept it for himself instead of reporting it to the academia. Araka believes this money to be the reason why Sir Cyrus hasn't kept up with any academic research or other projects since his retirement. And given your advanced age, he thought you'd be an easy target to blackmail.
Oh, Araka. I'm at a loss for words. I'm so angry I don't know where to start.
People make up rumors all the time. I am quite confident that Professor Cyrus has never
Stream
embezzled a
die?
mora in his life.
No.
Arav, you'll have to find some
I
excuse
think we're
to
fine.
interrogate Araka again later. I need you to deliver a few firm fistfuls to him on my behalf.
Anyone besides Dusk
I
having
completely
issues?
understand how you feel, Sir Cyrus, but I'm afraid that course of action goes against the Matra's principles.
Professor, there's no need to be childish about this.
Oh, come on. I was clearly joking.
Okay. Where does this go from here?
I am supposed to possibly
The
be getting
academia will
thunderstorms again
determine the
tonight.
appropriate disciplinary action against the student. And as for the individuals spreading rumors about the professor's obsession with tomatoes,
But nothing's going on
and
right
some
now.
old woman on the street, there could be a
OBS don't
slander
seem to be
case
doing
here.
anything.
The Matra will continue to investigate.
Who said I'm obsessed with some old woman on the street? Mind your wording or you'll start a whole new rumor. You seem confused. Oh, don't you understand? Uraka is just a young boy who made a very rash and very stupid decision based on some groundless rumor he heard. Besides, I didn't actually hand over any Mora to him. The whole thing sounds a lot worse than it is. All it costs me is a little reputational damage. That's all.
Please rest assured, Professor, that the Academia will issue a fair and
S2
reasonable
finished Heart
punishment.
Catch.
Yes,
Yuri
I have
is
no
best
doubt
girl.
about that.
Eh,
But as a former educator, I'd still like to have a serious
Not
conversation
invalid.
with the boy's parents. Their family lives in the
I
city.
still enjoy
yes?
I still enjoy Itsuki the most, I think.
Correct.
We
But
looked
in
into
general-
the family. Both parents are merchants, and they're often away on business. They've never taken much of an active role in
I
their
think
children's
I
lives.
didn't I'm not soured. I didn't
what a
hate I didn't
mess.
hate Heart Catch upon our
You
after
don't
arc
have
of it or
to seal
anything,
the
but
evidence away yet, do you?
it definitely
I'd
was
like to
not
have
as
that
good
letter
as
back
quite
for
as
the
good as
time
I
being, if
remembered.
possible. I need something concrete for
I would
when
rank
talk to the
Hugto as my
family
favorite
tonight.
these days.
We have to show them how serious this situation is.
Also Tsubomi.
The
Tsubomi
relevant
also
authorities
exists,
have
yeah.
already reviewed the evidence
Hard to
and are now
argue with that.
discussing Araka's punishment. You can hold on to the letter
Best
for now.
blue.
Just make sure to return it within a couple of days.
Oh, so you'll be able to close the case in 2 days.
Give or take. Cases like this are quick to resolve.
I'll solve
this Very case in good.
5 minutes.
Thank you for all your help. Perhaps we can all go for a meal together. Oh, my treat, of course.
My apologies, Sir Cyrus, but I have a prior commitment. Enjoy the meal, everyone.
Ah, I see. Well, that's a pity. But Cyno, you have to come. You found the culprit at record speed, and I owe you for that. Ah, and isn't Tainari in town at the moment? Bring him along, too.
We need to
you
bait the
mean
food
Tainari's in
shows.
the
They
city?
ship you two for some reason.
He is. Tainari's master, Sir Nephis, called him and Kale to the Academia to help out on a project. They should be at Nephis's office at this hour.
What the shit whatever the ship
Though I
name is
must say,
for Al Hatham
I'm
and
surprised
Kave.
you're extending an invitation to
It
Tainari.
was trending on Twitter like all
Did
last
you do
night, and it
something
made me
to
very
offend
sad.
Sir Nephis?
Don't be outrageous. Nephis offends me all the time. It's never the other way around. Anyway, hurry up and fetch Tainari.
Yeah, I don't think I've
I'll
forgotten
head over
Genshin,
to
just
the
because I haven't
tavern
been
with
back
the
to this
traveler
country in a
Paimon.
year.
See you there. Go
Still
on
won't
now.
forgive you for making
Keep us
two
waiting.
great characters terrible anytime they're in a room together. Just for the sake of trying to bait people into shipping them. And the fact that it worked! Let me just follow the line for now. I think this time it's actually outside. Oh, it definitely is, yeah.
Not to brag, but we never had problems like this at Ratawa Hist back when I was still teaching.
Oh, he
And if
brought,
you don't wanna
Kale.
Take my word for it. You can ask them. They were students at the time.
A good girl.
They'll tell you what it was like, won't they?
I was out in the forest at least 4 days a week back then, thanks to a colossal workload from Master. It wrought havoc on my
Holy
poor
shit,
tail,
today's
so I
National
didn't
Chocolate
exactly
Chip
keep
Day.
up to date with what was going on at the Academia. Most of what
Oh, I
know,
fucked up. I didn't
heard
have
from
nothing
Cyno
like that.
after
I
the
don't have
fact.
anything.
Professor's become a lot
Unless
more
I make
laid back
chocolate
in
chip
his
cookies at
retirement.
fucking 10 o'clock
He used
at
to be
night.
far stricter, and was especially known for being extremely principled.
Wow. It's hard enough to stay true to your principles as a normal person. I can't imagine doing that as a sage.
It's a pity Kale wasn't around at the time. I would have happily taken her on as a student.
And then we'd have one more person who has to address Lisa as upper class.
Marvel
woman.
has prohibited
Really?
use of
Can't
T'Challa,
you just
even if
call
it's
her
not the
Lisa?
same canon.
She seems to
What?
prefer it when people treat her like an older sister.
Like in the MCU stuff, Dusk, or like in the actual comics. Surely they wouldn't just completely blacklist a character just because his actor passed away tragically, right? Surely you just mean the movies.
Oh, believe me, back when she was a student, nothing made her happier than the younger students acknowledging her seniority.
care about this.
The phrase,
We
if
don't
it's not
wanna
in the
take
same canon, makes me think it's like a worldwide, a company-wide
Don't
policy, but that'd be
worry about
fucked
it.
up.
Order whatever you like. And if
Nobody
it's
would
not
want
enough,
that.
Order some more. After all your help
T'Challa
today,
is blacklisted
treating you to
now.
dinner is
Why?
the least I can do.
I thought I heard some familiar voices. Ah, and Sir Cyrus is here as well.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Kaveh, it's been a while.
Please just stay here by
Zaha
yourself.
was
Please don't
talking
have the other
about
one
you
show up.
last month. How have you been?
I've been all right, thank you. You're looking very well, sir. I'm glad to see it.
Have you eaten yet? Care
Please
to
tell
join
me
us?
that's not. Please tell me they're not doing that
That's
because
awfully
of
kind
Chadwick
you, but
Boseman's
I had a
passing.
late lunch, so I'm not really hungry just yet. I'll have dinner a little bit later tonight.
Surely they know that
I
that's
just
not
came
what
to
he or
Lombard's to
anyone
buy
else
some
wants or
wine, and
needs,
when I
right?
heard some voices I recognized, I thought I'd come and say hello. So what's the occasion, anyway? Some sort of celebration?
Consolation, more like. You wouldn't believe
Like,
the
we
day
lost
I've
probably
had.
the best interpretation of the character ever, and that's tragic. Don't get me wrong. Like, I hate even thinking about the fact that that happened.
Sounds like
Still,
things
it's,
have really
it's horribly
gone downhill
depressing.
since I was there.
But like that
My
character
whole
is meant
time
to,
as
that
a
character
student, I've never
himself
heard
was
of
meant
anything remotely
is
like that.
was and is still
I
meant to
can't believe
inspire
how
people
young
even
the guy
beyond
is.
his performance.
What are his parents going to think?
They
Ah,
say
young
it's to
people
honor
are
the
always
actor, but that
more
character hasn't
susceptible
existed
to
in the
making
comics for
rash
years.
and
That's
ill-advised
nonsense.
decisions. Their minds are still developing.
Yeah.
It's just an unfortunate
Oh,
fact of
fuck
life.
you, Marvel.
But still, this boy has some nerve. Just look at what he wrote. Oh, it makes my blood boil.
There are tears in my eyes. That's
yeah.
fucked up to even think
Jeez.
about.
I will always be watching you and all
That
of your
character means so much more to people than just a couple of
And they just
movies.
Followed you into the house of Dana?
If this were my
Like,
son,
it's fucked up. Don't get me wrong. Like,
He'd
surely
get
they
the
have to know
scolding
better.
of
Like,
a
obviously they
lifetime.
probably have ulterior motives. But like, they're
Luckily,
gonna try to use that
I'm also
excuse.
an
Like, that's what
extremely
Chadwick
principled
Boseman would have
person.
fucking wanted.
Kaveh, your order's ready, sir.
Oh, I'm gonna
coming.
kill myself.
I'll have to get going. Have a nice evening, everyone. I'll catch you all
Man,
another
fuck
time.
that.
Okay, bye-bye!
Unc and Eshi,
Here I
save
am.
me.
The coffee beans are in here too.
Yep, it's all there. I'll stop babbling away now. Let's eat before the food gets cold.
You know, if that's the explanation they're gonna try and spill people, then I'm just going to operate under the assumption that they are just evil and or racist. Probably both. Granted, the two usually go hand in hand anyway, but you know what I mean.
Paimon's belly is about to explode!
Paimon, I hate you.
Oh,
Not as much as I
mine
hate
too.
Marvel right now.
I'll have to walk home
But I
to
hate
burn
you.
some of it off.
Who's in charge of
Mr.
Marvel right
Cyrus,
now? It's not
Master
Kasada
Tainari and I
anymore,
will bring
right?
you some homemade herbal tea next time. It'll
Tea!
do wonders for your sleep.
Well, I look forward to that. In fact, could I trouble you to bring a little extra for the other old folks on my street? I'll be the envy of the neighborhood.
No problem at all. I'll pack some up and bring it over.
Kevin? Which Kevin? Fiji? Kevin Fiji, the film producer, is in charge of Marvel Studios, the comic book publisher?
Ah, I'll see you all later. I better head home now and tend to the crops.
Good night, Professor. Don't let those tomatoes keep you up too late.
And
Hey,
Bob, I don't know who Bob
my
is.
tomatoes are serious business. I am not about to be beaten by Zaha Hadid. Anyway, I'll be leaving now. Don't stay up too late now, children. I bid you all a good night.
Take care! Have a safe trip home!
Kevin got control of
All right.
all of Marvel
now,
like 2
we
years
finally
ago.
have some us time.
What do you mean, us time?
Well, I was talking with Tainari and Kale, and since we all have some free time, we thought we could all go camping together. Think of it as our way of welcoming you back to Sumeru.
Camping?
I don't think I'm going to
Oh,
be
that
watching
sounds fun.
Wolverine and Deadpool in theaters anymore. I think I'm going to wait until it is commercially available for home viewing and pirate that shit. I do not think I feel like giving Marvel any of my money ever again, if that's going to be their fucking attitude.
Right? It's been so long
Ditto
since we did something
Spider-Verse.
fun together. I can't wait.
Everyone, Let's meet tomorrow afternoon at the riverbank to the southeast of Gandharvaville. No need to bring anything. We've already packed everything for the trip. Just bring your delightful selves and prepare to have some fun.
You got it! We'll be there!
I was excited for that movie too, for the record. I
Great.
saw a poster of it
Then
in
we'll see you
when I was
tomorrow.
going to see Seed Freedom. But no, I don't think I don't want to not to derail the hit game Genshin Impact, and not to like claim a moral high ground, because a lot of the times I won't give a shit. But like, I don't know, something about that attitude really rubs me the wrong way, and I don't think I'll be supporting that company anymore until they get their shit together, if they get their shit together. You think I'm upset at Paimon? You think
Let's head to the southeast of
you think
Gandharvaville
Paimon
and meet
singing
up
is
with
the
others.
is me angry? This is me angry. When I get real quiet, that's how you know. That's how you know I actually want to kill someone. Ooh. Anyway, look at Lovekov.
We're here! Wow, you guys are ahead of the game. You set up the tents already.
I'd say we're right about on schedule, actually. We were aiming to have them set up before you arrived.
Oh yeah, this will be my first time hearing Tighnari's voice actor.
Traveler,
His
come on,
new
let's go fishing
non-scumbag
together.
one.
Whatever we catch, we can grill for dinner
For an extended
tonight.
period of time. That's why I was asking Cameron. I was like, do I need to
Dinner's
put
on us tonight.
do I need to replace Dan DiDio with Kevin Fiji after I just took Dan DiDio off of that list?
I hope I can contribute too.
'Cause
The
I
other
acknowledged
Forest
it was
Watchers
cheating.
gave me some fishing tips a little while ago.
Kevin
I'm
Fiji would
really
still be
looking
cheating,
forward to
but
giving them
also
a try.
He's evil. So fuck him.
I saw some very appetizing mushrooms in the area, so I gathered a few for us. I'll leave them here along with some fresh fruit.
Wow.
They can say
keeping
whatever
with
what
the
they never
Forest
do this to a
Watchers
white
is
character.
the
They
way
wouldn't.
to go. They think of everything. And even if
Not-
they don't, they can improvise.
Knock on wood. I would not wish this on anybody, regardless of what I think of their acting ability or preference to other people who have donned the tights. I don't want nothing bad to happen, but I'm just saying, if Tom Holland got in a tragic car accident tomorrow and passed away, you think they're gonna retire Spider-Man? You think they're gonna actually permanently retire Peter Parker across all media and just let Miles be Spider-Man? Pshaw.
This is true. I don't think I've ever had
Go
a
fuck
single rough
yourselves,
day in
Marvel.
this forest.
So, how has everything been going for you?
Well, there's been some high points and low points, but we've had some unforgettable experiences along the way.
I see. Oh, in that case, you should try a Valberry. I bought some from the market this morning.
I have like 8
Val,
million of those in
valuable
stock from
suggestion.
Mondstadt.
Just don't
Because no
bury
character
your
uses them to level
feelings
up. I don't
using
need that.
food.
I don't
All
gotta
I
go
wanted was
shopping.
to recommend something bittersweet.
Probably not the same berries, but whatever.
I have a sudden craving for fruit tea. I'm
Tea!
gonna go fetch some stuff. Bye!
She sure made a run for it.
Unbelievable. She made a run for it.
So Kale chose the path of tactical retreat. Could it be she foresaw what shall soon come to pass? My dear friend, you know what I am about to say.
Oh, please don't make me play Yu-Gi-Oh! I haven't played the card game in a
kindred
year,
spirit.
my guy.
A great warrior can sense when a duel is nigh. But it looks like we'll get told off if we start playing now.
Thank God.
Let's enjoy the nature for a while
Thank
longer.
God Tighnari is a wet blanket. Purple Prouse. Nope. Let me skip it. Game, let me skip it. I don't care. I've seen this scenery 5 million times. It's not new.
We got a bite!
I'll reel it in.
firewood, spices, snacks, and drinks. Everything's ready. Once Kale gets back, we can light up the fire and start grilling.
And Knuckles. Genshin, you can stop trying to be cinematic. Nobody cares. I sure do wish I was saying this out loud.
There are 3 tents. Which one do you two want to take?
How about the one on the left?
How about you sleep in the fucking fire pit where you belong?
Well, Paimon just thinks the ambiance here is a little better.
True. But it's also the closest to the water. If there are any sleepwalking fungi around tonight, they might stumble into your tent.
Well, that's no good. Take my weapon. You can use it to bar the entrance.
Anyone would think you were sealing the gates to King Deshret's mausoleum.
Excellent. Then this tent will be an impenetrable fortress.
I'm back! How's your appetites? Ready for the barbecue? Always.
You have the same camp as Paimon, you go to the nearest deadly animal and take your chances. I'd throw Paimon to the deadly animal. Why risk my butt?
Oh, it smells so good. Paimon's drooling.
Someone sure is desperate to eat. I think it's time to add the seasoning. How do you like your skewers? Well done? Medium? Rare?
Wait, what? Isn't that just for steaks? Hey, if it works
For someone who
steak,
talks about
maybe it
food
works
almost
for other
constantly, you
things
sure
too.
do know jack shit about
Medium well for me.
it. Oh,
Okay,
Cyno.
these are about
Oh,
ready
we can't
now,
be
then.
friends anymore, my guy.
It'll be a few more minutes for anyone who wants theirs well done.
Where's my option? Where's my option to say I want mine rare? I better see some blood on mine.
Oh, that was so delicious. If Paimon's stomach had space, she'd eat 3 more skewers. I ate a lot too. Here comes the food coma.
It's called the
If you're
itis.
tired, then go rest.
You must be getting sleepy too, Paimon. Why don't you guys head to your tents? Cyno and I will clean up.
Tonight, I show you mercy. Our sacred duel will take place another day.
Good night.
Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs
Paimon's struggling to keep her eyes open.
Or do. I'm saying I want a giant bug to eat Paimon.
Oh, don't forget this. The Staff of the Scarlet Sands.
Wait, you were actually being serious about that?
It's a very powerful weapon. Try it.
Paimon can't even lift that thing.
Fair enough. You sure you don't want it?
Wow, look at that still image.
Yeah, Paimon's sure. We'll be fine. And even if we do get an uninvited guest in the night, Paimon will be here to take care of the traveler.
Yep, me and my 3-star weapon. Or 1-star weapon. What is that? I know it's a shitty-ass sword. Oh, God. At least upgrade it to something. My own trusty sword. My own trusty shitty 2-star, 3-star, whatever sword.
That reminds me of a parting king of invocations. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. But right now, it's time to rest. Sleep well and sweet
Thought we
dreams.
upgraded, I upgraded. The game just won't reflect my upgrades in the cutscenes ever. Why, Lacus? Why did you give me a chance instead of that Kira guy with his big, long, huge freedom? Why? What the hell is a Lacus?
I think they should all be here. Traveler? Paimon? Are you in there? Could you come outside for a sec?
No.
Look at this.
No. I don't want to see you two together
What's the
ever.
sword doing here? Is it supposed to keep out intruders?
Evidently.
Huh? Who is it? Oh, what time do you call this?
I call it kill yourself a clock. I mean, what?
Paimon's gonna take out the sword. Yeah!
Hi, Minato. I have no idea what's
Oh, hey
happening
there,
anymore, right? This
Kaveh.
feels like a
What are you
fanfic.
doing here? It's the middle of the night!
Sorry to wake you up at this hour of the night, but we've got a situation on our hands.
I've just
Let's
been
get
informed that
dressed
we
and
are the
talk
second
about it
most popular
outside.
ship on Archive of our own, despite having literally no romantic chemistry whatsoever. It's very concerning.
Something has come up. And since it pertains to Cyrus and Cyno, I deemed it essential to inform you all.
Whoa, back up. Let's start from the beginning.
Speak, bitch. No. Only when I'm talking to super important plot relevant characters, like Furina or Frappuccino.
Where'd the wine cups go? I could have sworn I left them here after
Oh
I
my
washed
god, they're arguing over where they left their utensils
there
again.
they are.
Oh, they're so fucking kawaii. They're so married. I love them so much. I'm gonna stab my fucking eyes out.
Can you see if the cookies are still on the table?
Oh my god, they're making cookies for each other, chat. Oh my god. Literally married.
They are. And so are the fruits.
I'm gonna have a fucking stroke, chat.
Land. I should have gotten a few
I
bottles of what
hate this
Cyno's
shit
group was
so
drinking last night.
goddamn much. It's
Do
so
tell.
fucking
What were they
try-hardy.
Oh, right, I forgot to mention. So, I ran into Cyrus yesterday evening when I went to the tavern to pick up some things. He was hosting a dinner for Cyno, Tighnari, Kale, and the Traveler and Paimon. Anyway, they got a bottle of Lombard's new vintage for the
I
table.
want to skip this so
At least
fucking
I
bad.
think that's what it was. It looked pretty good.
This exposition doesn't matter long term. You know why they're showing this.
Sounds like they're all tangled up in this.
You know what it's about, right? 16-year-old kid tried to extort Cyrus. He was asking for 10 million mora.
I heard some people talking about it on the streets, yes. Didn't take them long to catch the culprit. The sages are probably dealing with the case by now.
I wonder what Sir Nephis and the others will
Make a
make of it.
fanfic where I'm in a camp with all my favorite Genshin
Cyrus
boys.
showed me the extortion letter,
and
too.
also Kale, because
It was
she's my
crudely
daughter and
written,
she's
but the
not
paper
threatening
had
to my
this
to my
beautiful
relationships.
pattern on it that I've never seen before. Really
Including the
caught
two
my
who
eye.
are really gay for each other.
Give me a
Because
sec.
I
I'll
can't
sketch
break
it out
them up.
for you.
They're just too kawaii, Jess. I'm not gonna make a no TP bingo or 5x5 or whatever, but just know that if I did, these two would be on it.
Okay, done. Take a look.
I don't care enough to think up that many I hate.
You see what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen
Just
writing
know
paper
that
like
these
this
two
around
would be
before.
on there.
God knows where the culprit got it from.
Just know these two will never get together.
Interesting. These are all motifs associated with the tribes of the desert.
Now on the complete
Really?
opposite end of the spectrum, Professor
Take
X
this,
and
for
Magneto,
instance.
oh,
Looks like
they
an
gay.
outline of a spire,
They
similar
big
to
gay.
the kind found on some ancient palaces.
They super duper
And the
omega
crisscrossing and mirroring
mutant class
here.
gay.
I recognize that too.
Absolutely, Dusk.
It bears a
They
striking
fucking-
resemblance to an ancient emblem, one that hasn't been used in a very long time.
But Nova,
Whose
he's in a
emblem is it?
wheelchair. Emma Frost exists.
It's the emblem.
She can
Of the
help them do
Temple of
mind
Silence.
sex. She did it for Gambit and Rogue, she can do it for them. Life finds a way.
After discussing it with each other, we both agreed that something didn't feel right.
I'm only
So we
half
went looking
joking.
for you. This was a long way to come from the city. Alhaitham figured you were probably with Tighnari, so Gandharvaville was our first stop. But the Forest Watchers told us that you'd gone camping. Then, just as we were heading off to the campsite, we ran into Cyno. He said he was on a supply run. We exchanged a few words, and then he ran off.
Jean is there too.
my
Oh, I
God,
hope
so
not.
what's the deal with that emblem you were talking about? The Temple of Silence, you said? What is that? Should we be worried?
Is everything okay?
One-time
Give me a
domains,
second.
Paimon. Nothing to worry about.
Let me get Kale.
I assume, maybe.
So you've never heard of the Temple of Silence? Well, to put it simply,
You've never heard of the gas
it's an
field
organization
experiment?
that has existed in Sumeru for over 1,000 years. These days, you can find a Temple of Silence office in the academia. Theoretically,
Stu.
it's responsible for the custody and disposal
Die in a
of
fire.
information and documents not fit for public dissemination. At least, that's what they tell the outside world. In truth, it's essentially a vestigial institution nowadays. There's an office with their name on it, but it's functionally obsolete. Historically speaking, the original Temple of Silence is said to have been established by Hermanubis, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret and the greatest of all sages. Most of the organization's members hailed from the desert. By contrast, none of the Academia Temple's current members are from the desert region, nor do they use any symbols connected with the desert folk.
Racism.
So
Got
the
it.
Temple of Silence at the Academia is just a fake? Wow.
Last
possible.
minute plan to swap
The
with
real
Paimon at
question
the last
is,
minute so
why?
she dies in a fire.
My guess is they're covering
Oh,
something
if
up.
only.
So, how do you know all this? Sounds like some pretty top secret stuff.
I'm Al
Did
Hatham,
you
and I
forget?
know things.
He did a stint as acting Grand Sage, and kept the pay raise even after he resigned.
Oh, yeah! Paimon did totally forget about that. So you took the chance to read all the top secret documents while you were acting Grand Sage, huh?
Acting
If
Grand
you're
Magus
asking me
Brunt.
whether I familiarized myself with the documentation in my office, I would respond that that's a perfectly normal part of any job.
So much about this doesn't make sense. Why did the emblem of the Temple of Silence appear on a threat letter from an Academia student to Cyrus? The student's only 16, and doesn't have any family ties to the desert. So where could he have seen that emblem, or gotten the paper?
Morphogenetic
You
fields.
said you ran into Cyno, yes? Did you tell him what you've just told us?
Yes,
Yep.
I have zero
He
escape
ran
on the
off as soon
brain.
as he heard what we said.
Don't worry about it.
Given that Cyrus is involved,
We're probably gonna play
he's
those relatively
probably
soon.
halfway through solving the case by now.
3 months.
Still, we should try to catch up with him. At this hour of the night, Cyno will probably go looking for Cyrus at his current residence.
If the Academia's Temple of Silence really does exist just to cover up the truth, the sudden appearance of this emblem can't be good, and sure to stir up trouble. We should pay a visit to the Academia.
Yes. As the Sage of Amorta, my master ought to know the truth about their office.
Racist against
You can
furries.
ask him to tell you what he knows.
I
The more
genuinely
information we
can't
have, the
remember.
better
Like I know
prepared we'll be
there
for
was
whatever
like
happens
the
there.
rainforesty
If this
Sumeru and
situation
the
is
desert
connected to the
Sumeru.
real Temple of Silence, the emblem
And I
has to be part of a
want to
bigger
say there was like
conspiracy.
some kind of class
Kale,
divide between the
Could
two,
I trouble you to send a message to the core of 30?
but I can't remember.
Tell them to keep an eye out for Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, you two
I
come
haven't
with
stepped
me.
foot in this
We'll go
country in a
after
year.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
Cyrus has been living in the city lately. He rented a place near the field so he can keep an eye on his tomato plants.
Then let's go look for him there.
Yeah, if you want proper full-on furries, I think you have to wait for Zenless Zone 0. Otherwise, you'll have to settle for just kind of lazy cat girls. Also, my resin's maxed out. Oh no. Anyway.
Here we are. This is the place.
Huh, we might be too late. Looks like nobody's home.
My resin's been
Cyno
maxing out
moves
every day at
fast.
this point.
If he was here, he's
Also
probably long
furry?
gone by now.
I know that voice. Is that Tainari I hear?
Ah! Professor Zahahadi!
Wow, so it really is you.
You want a hot snake,
My
lady?
goodness, whatever is going on tonight?
The second
We're
any
looking
of
for
these
Cyno.
games introduces a
So,
Mobius
he's already been
XP,
here.
my interest will be at least
Yes,
slightly
not long
reignited.
ago, in fact. He knocked on my door and asked if
Mobius
I'd
was
seen
the only reason I
Cyrus
started
today at all.
Honkai 3rd, and I stuck with
I
that for a
told
pretty
him
long
the
time.
old fool left early this morning, and I hadn't heard him come back. So we went to his place, and would you believe it? He's gone. Goodness knows where to. It must have alarmed Cyno, because he took off in an
I'm
awful
looking at
hurry
my
after
favorite
that.
character, not 5x5,
never
and
did
thinking about
explain
who
what
I
this
could
was
get
all
rid of for
about.
Shin Asuka.
How serious is it?
What has my life come
Well,
to?
if Cyrus isn't at home... Oh, it sure doesn't sound good.
Professor, did you hear that a student recently tried to extort Cyrus?
I almost want to kick off MCU Loki.
Why,
Just because
yes.
fuck Marvel and everything
When I
connected
left the
to it
house
after what
that
I was
day,
told earlier.
I noticed he was watering his flowers in the field in complete silence. He had a piece of paper
That character's
clutched in
also
his
been
hand,
sufficiently
and
ruined
he
by
looked
all the,
lost in thought.
subsequent
I
material.
could
Granted,
tell
it's not the
something
same
was
character
troubling
anymore, but
him,
still.
but he wouldn't tell me what it was.
I don't want people to get
If
the wrong
Cyno
idea.
hadn't happened to visit him that day, he'd probably still be holding on to that thing. After seeing the letter, Cyno told him to contact the Corps of 30, but Cyrus was very reluctant. He claimed
You
it
prefer
would
the
only
new one,
damage
Dusk?
his
That's okay, you're
reputation.
allowed to be wrong.
Eventually, he relented, after much persuasion from Cyno.
Huh? Cyrus didn't want to report it? Well, that's strange. When we saw him, he seemed pretty okay with the idea of the kid getting his just desserts.
As a former sage, it's possible Cyrus still has enemies at the Academia. That's why Cyno was so insistent that he report the matter to the authorities. I was there while they were going back and forth over it.
So Cyrus initially hoped to stop this from going public. But why?
He only reported a casino first and two, which means Cyrus must know something about the Temple of the
Dear,
Hoopity Doopty.
What on earth has that old fool gotten himself wrapped up
I don't want
in?
people thinking I like garbage,
Oh,
exactly.
I do hope he's
Yeah,
not
even though in my brain,
danger.
I know I'm talking
Oh,
about the Loki
I almost
from
forgot.
the original
Cyno
Thor
left me this
through
letter to pass on to
Infinity
you.
War.
He wrote it when he came by earlier.
I don't want people to think I mean
He
the shitty
realized
Loki
you
from
might
literally
come
everything
looking
after
for
that.
him.
Thank you.
What does it say? Let Paimon take a look.
Also, again, just fuck Marvel right now. If I get rid of him, there will be no other Marvel characters on that thing, and I'm okay with that.
My friends, this is a rather complicated state of affair. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I ask you to understand and accept that I had to act alone at this stage. Don't come after me.
Yep, that sounds like Cyno. Thank you, Professor. Please do not worry. We will do all we can to protect both Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, let's head to the Academia and regroup.
Please don't be somewhere else. It's somewhere else, god fucking damn it. Gonna assume this way is actually closer to the entrance.
Strike a pose.
What?
Blessings from the Denjo Archon. I hope
Um,
our patients will get well soon.
Yellow line, why are you lying to me? Jesus fucking Christ, I hate that. I hate Subaru. I hate Subaru. Thank you for reminding me why I hate Subaru in record time, Gabe. It's too vertical. I know they added layers in this region, but it doesn't help with the city. Oh. An AU where Batman and Superman get together? I mean, I'm okay with that. Superman and Batman can be gay for each other. In the mainline universe or anywhere else for that matter. If you finish Geats, you'll still feel you swap Bowser with Ace, oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say, yeah. How do I not? I was gonna say, how the hell do I not have Bowser on my hate bingo? But that's right, I have Evolto on there. If I could only have one Kamen Rider character on that thing, which I don't have to necessarily, but it is just kind of a fake rule I enforce on myself. One per franchise or whatever. Yeah, I hate Evolto
You're
more.
here? I thought you were going after...
No
guess
other
you
character
lost
has
their
single-handedly done more damage
went
to a
to Cyrus's
season's
house.
viability
No
for
one was
me
there.
than him.
Cyno got there before us, but he was long gone by the time we arrived.
Bowser came close, don't
He
get me
didn't
wrong,
say
he
where
sucks,
he was going?
but...
No, he left us a letter and told us not to go after him.
Let me put it this
Can't
way.
say I'm
If I had a
surprised.
choice of being locked in a room with one of the
Typical
two,
Cyno.
I could
Anyway,
beat up
some
Bowser.
updates on progress on our end.
I
We
could
drew
beat the
emblem
shit out
from
of him
memory
and he'd
again,
just
but
kind
in
of
more
cry like a
detail
bitch.
this time.
Because he ain't jack shit. If I were locked in a room with Evolto, he would pull a new power out of his ass every 2 seconds to make my life miserable.
I checked some ancient texts for a similar design. The
It
one
wouldn't
I
matter
found
how
was a
hard I
little
kicked him in the
blurry,
dick.
but the similarities in the general form and certain details were clear enough to confirm a match.
Yeah. and so lucky we
Surprise!
found
My
anything
body
at all.
also secretes
It turns out the
anti-dick
emblem was
pain
all but
poison.
lost to history. We scoured the entire academia
Aha!
collection, and that book
I
was the
win
only one
because
with a
fuck
record
you.
of the motif.
Meanwhile, Arav managed to get Uraka to disclose his source. The one who told him about Cyrus's embezzled funds was a young man from the desert. According to Uraka, he had a striking presence and was well educated.
Apparently, the two met in the tavern over a game of cards. The guy claimed to be in the city for business as part of a merchant caravan. Uraka was intrigued when he heard what his new acquaintance had to say and brought up the idea of extorting Cyrus for Mora. The guy encouraged him to go ahead with it, then handed him
I
some
hate
pen
that
and paper
fucking
to
dog.
write the letter.
I see.
We know, Kishi.
So it
now.
could be that this person planted the paper intentionally.
So, how do we find this guy? Did Uraka say where he is?
He doesn't know. He claims not to have seen him since that day in the tavern. The man gave him some tips on how to carry out the extortion, but from then on, Uraka was acting alone.
Nephis and Arav have gone to meet the Core of 30 and review the city's entry and exit records. Also, Nephis admitted that the Temple of Silence in the Academia is just a facade. The true Temple of Silence once came to the rainforest to establish a collaboration with the Academia, but as time went by, the sages gradually became corrupt and foolish. The Temple of Silence felt that they
Ace
could
gives
no
you
longer
Kirito
trust the
vibes, so
Academia
garbage.
and ended the partnership. They retreated back to the desert about 400 years ago. Ever since its inception, the Temple of Silence has been the guardians of King Deshret's civilization and belief system. They traveled throughout Sumeru, sequestering and guarding any wisdom that posed a threat to the people's livelihoods. At its roots, it was a legitimate and reputable organization whose purpose was to guide people towards the right path.
The academia of the day knew that the split would damage their reputation if it became a matter of public knowledge. And so, they set up a dummy organization of their own to conceal the truth.
Not only that, but they managed to keep up the charade for hundreds of years.
So how did Cyrus become acquainted with the true Temple of Silence if they left centuries ago?
I'll bet that's the question that bothered Cyno. Probably why he went after him in such a rush.
Whoever is behind this, getting Uraka to extort Cyrus was only the first step of the plan. Their true goal in doing so was for Cyrus to see the emblem on the letter.
He must have recognized it right away. That'll be why he didn't want to involve the authorities. He probably hoped to take care of the whole thing by himself. Unfortunately for him, Cyno had other plans.
Since the desert is where the Temple of Silence originated, that is in all likelihood where Cyrus went.
I have to go after him.
Really? Are you sure that's
Damn
a good
it.
idea with how you respond to the heat? Why don't we send someone else?
I should be fine, as long as I bring plenty of water. Besides, I just can't shake this ominous feeling that if we don't catch up to them soon...
Everyone, I have news from the Core of 30.
Master!
Oh, so that's Nafis, Tainari's master? Oh, we're finally getting to meet him in person.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Traveler in Paimon.
I
Several
just looked up.
independent
What the fuck
eyewitnesses
is
have
this
reported
guy's
seeing
design?
Cyrus and Mahamatra Cyno leaving the city at different times. Both were heading in the direction of Caravan Rebat. I was going to suggest that you join forces with
What
the
are
Corps of
those
30 in this
glasses?
case. However, as I'm sure you've already heard from Alhaitham and Kaveh, the Temple of Silence is involved. The Academia
Man,
has
I
made
love
a number of
Balfu
decisions
from the hit
throughout
game
history
Persona
that
2
I'm
Eternal
ashamed to
Punishment.
talk about. It may well be that no better choice was available to them, but those actions are nonetheless a stain on our legacy. I won't attempt to make you understand the Academia's perspective.
Why would they
Now
make him
is the
look
time
like
for
this?
action.
It's like, oh man, it's Cyno's,
I
it's Cyno's
understand
master.
where you're coming from, Master. But I'm afraid the situation
Literally the
might be
fucking
more complicated than we
derpiest
thought.
looking person ever.
I think we need to keep a low profile, or risk making things worse.
Good point. If Cyrus is involved with the other side, or worse, if he's fallen into their hands, and... Everyone, we have to get Cyrus and Cyno back safely. We cannot afford to lose them.
Need our help? Whatever
Would
you
shove
need, we
him in
got
a
you
locker.
covered.
Fucking insane.
Really? Wonderful. You have my most sincere gratitude. Arav and I will continue to follow up on the lead from Uraka. Kaveh, Scribe Alhaitham, I'd like to ask you to cover the duties of the House of Dana. Tainari, you're planning to go into the desert, correct?
I am. Kaveh, I'll be okay. You stay behind to help Master and Alhaitham.
Also have 3 Xenoblade
Well, if
characters
you're
on your...
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. But be careful.
Again, I get it.
Thank
Even
you.
I don't adhere to it
Arav,
strictly
let's
all
go.
the time.
You'd better get moving.
I think
Don't
I
forget
actually,
to ask
yeah,
for
I
help
have,
when you need it.
yeah, I have both Melia and,
Will do.
Uni
Let's go, Tainari.
on my
Hopefully
favorite
we
one.
can catch up with Cyno before it's too late.
Should probably technically
Knowing
get rid of
him,
one of
he's
them.
probably covered a fair
Gotta
distance
keep that
already.
rule on myself.
But we still have a shot. Let's take it.
Oh, I wish I hadn't run out of coffee. I need it. No offense, game. This is far from the worst thing I've seen
we
tonight.
made it to Caravan Ribat. Where should we go next? Maybe we should ask the nearby guards if they've seen anything.
Yes,
Hold
lots
on.
of talking.
Look over there.
Is that Dia?
You sure you want to brave the desert alone?
Is
I
that
mean,
Dia?
it's your
Did they
choice
buff
at the
her
end of the
yet?
day, but
No.
still.
It's not my first time. I'll be fine.
Cyno.
If you're really going to go through with this, then at least take our advice. When you're packing for your trip, budget for 5 days more than you plan to spend out there.
Makes sense. Okay, I'll go get ready.
Thought we might find you here. You're trying to retrace Cyrus's steps, aren't you?
Didn't I tell you not to come after me? I thought I had a good lead on you.
Well, sorry, but we never agreed to that. Why would you go off on your own
My
like
least
this?
favorite character in Heartcatch?
Nothing personal. It's just a complex situation. And I'd rather not involve anyone else if I can help it.
Genuinely don't think I have one.
Takes a special kind of person to get Cyno chasing
I
them
don't think
all the way out
anyone's
to
bad
Caravan
per
Reba.
se.
But
It was
why
mainly
so
the
quiet
mainly
today,
the
huh?
story
You only gave us his age
that
and
that kind of fell flat for
Why
me on the
can't you
rewatch.
reveal his name? Is he Sumeru's most wanted or something? Oh, also, hey guys, it's been a while.
Dia and Candace! So nice to see you. Actually, seeing all of our friends is the whole reason we're here.
You're looking well. Glad to see it. Candace and I came to Caravan Rebot on
Is
business.
that why we're here? I thought it was
we
to
ran
make
into
cock
Cyno
jokes
as he was
about
asking
Gaggy.
about some elderly gentleman's whereabouts. Some people say they saw him. Guess he stood out as an older guy heading into the desert alone with just a sumpter beast in tow and very few supplies.
Least favorite on DSN? Deep Space Nine?
That's gotta be one heck of a story there.
Cyno.
Not used to seeing it
It's
abbreviated
okay
with
if
an
you
N
can't
instead
tell
of
us
a 9, but
anything
do you
about
mean
the
Deep Space
case.
Nine? Yep, okay.
But let us know how we
Esri.
can support you. We're here to help
Esri
out
is a
every
fucking
unit.
worthless
The more people we
character,
have
and I don't
working
know
on
why they
this,
bothered.
the quicker we'll
That's
be
not
able to
true.
find
I
the
know why.
person
I
we
know why
seek.
she had to be in the show.
No,
I
it's
just
not
wish
that
she fucking
simple.
wasn't.
If I'm right,
She's a character that
I'll be doing
only
everything I
exists
can
because
to
of some
avoid
very
us.
unfortunate
You
casting
spoke with
choices
Zahadi.
that
From what she
that
said,
happened between
it's pretty
the
clear that he
the
wants
sixth
to
and
try
final
and solve
seasons.
this on his own. It won't
But,
be easy trying to find him in the desert when he's
They
deliberately
probably
trying to
should
cover
just
his
not have
tracks.
bothered.
Sounds like this is far more
Or
complex
actually, you
than
know,
we imagined.
not been dicks to Terry
Still,
Farrell.
If he started from Caravan Rebot, the chances are that his route took him past Aru village. You may as well ask if anyone there has seen him.
my thanks to you both.
Yeah, I probably
Once
shouldn't
this
even
is
say
resolved, I
Esri.
will
She's
find a way
barely
to
a
repay you.
character.
Ah, come on. No need to get all serious. Just buy a round of drinks next time we're all in
But
the
I'll
city
say
or
it anyway.
something.
Because generally
That's
speaking,
a
I like
deal.
pretty much
All
the
right,
entirety of the main
so,
cast of
You all
DS9.
set?
Yes, we'll handle it from here. Thank you again for your help. I don't take it for granted.
All right, then we'll leave you to it. Just remember, if you change your mind and need some reinforcements, we'll be here.
And don't think you'd be imposing. You can depend on us.
Don't worry, we'll keep him out of trouble.
I hate insert character here so much. God, I wish they never existed. I can't talk about why Esri's so bad in detail because she doesn't show up until the final season, and she does only show up for some very dumb plot / real life reasons that I won't get into. But and we're probably gonna watch it one of these days. Eventually, I'll find an excuse to watch it.
Hold on.
But
There's a few things I'd like to clear up.
she sucks.
Go on.
So, after you left the
There's no
campsite,
nice way to say it.
we
She
had a longer
just kind of
talk.
sucks. She's got a couple of funny lines in the baseball episode. She got to be around for that. That's a favorite of mine,
Clearly,
but that's about
we've
it.
only scratched the surface of the Temple of Silence question. It doesn't surprise me at all.
Again,
that
it's
the one in
it's an issue of
academia is a
time.
Fake.
Every other
Do
one
you
of the
have
main
any
cast members and
connection
even
with the
most of the
Temple of
recurring
Silence?
cast had 7
I
seasons
do.
to be
I trust
very,
you're
very
all aware
thoroughly
of the
fleshed
spirit
out.
that gives me my power. Hermanubis.
Trying
the
to shove in a
original
main
founder of
cast
the
member into
Temple
the
of
final
Silence.
season.
Due to my unique
They were always
constitution,
no, even with
I was
like the
put through a
top-notch
number
writing
of
quality.
trials in the desert when I was younger.
They would have had a
Later,
hard time making her
I
good.
met the professor, and he brought me to Sumeru City. But my memory of that time is hazy. I can't recall much. It's a good thing that Kaveh noticed the emblem on the letter. Without that, I don't know if we would have connected the dots and realized there was more to this case than mere extortion. I did not recognize that symbol at all. Whether that's because I've never seen it, or because my memory fails me, it's hard to say.
Yeah, you're right. Thank goodness for Kaveh.
Also,
and for
fun fact, you
Ohaitham's
guys could never hear it in the
diligence during his
first
time
place,
as acting
so it doesn't
Grand
really matter,
Sage.
y'all. But that
Cyrus
weird
must
kind of
have
crackling
recognized
audio
it right
issue
away,
I've been having
right?
with PS5 games,
Otherwise, he wouldn't have had
or
any
anything off the
possibility
Elgato
of
for that matter,
reporting it.
not
Or
happening
maybe
tonight
his
for whatever
connection
reason.
to the Temple of Silence goes even deeper than yours.
I suspect so too.
I have changed nothing.
Professor has never once mentioned the Temple of Silence in conversation. And whenever the conversation turns
that's
to
right. I guess there was a
Hermanubis
Windows
and
update.
the concept of spirit indwelling, he avoids going
I did
into any
update
depth.
Windows right before I started
Well,
tonight.
speaking
Maybe
of avoiding things,
there was just something wonky
you do
there fucking
realize,
it up.
don't you, now that we've caught up with you,
But
you're
whatever,
stuck with
I'm
us
not
for
gonna
the rest of the
complain.
way.
Paimon's
I am
annoying
aware.
enough, so they gave me a break.
And I have accepted it.
I mean,
Or
it's just nice to know
rather,
that it probably wasn't anything with
I
my
don't
capture
see how I
card.
could manage to ditch you en route. So, I might as well accept that you're coming with me.
That's right. Fact is, we're coming with you whether you like it or not. So the best option now is to try to look out for each other. Ha!
I wish I could get rid of you, Paimon.
Fair enough. Then at least let me buy you a drink once we're back in the city.
Oh my
Works for
god,
me.
I ship it so
All
hard.
right, off we go. Let's start by seeing what the guards here can tell us.
I'm not as offended by them as I am by Kaveh and Kaveh and
Hello.
Al.
Mahamatra Cyno?
They're marginally
I'm
less
looking
try
for
hard at
someone.
it than them.
So I'd like to confirm any recent foot traffic in and out of Aru village.
They are downright subtle by comparison.
A man matching that description passed by Aru village not too long ago. He stopped by to load up on food and water and feed his sumpter beast. Then he was on his way.
Where was he going?
Let me
What's my
think.
Fujo ship here? In
He
Genshin?
took a seat by the entrance of the village for a while. and had a brief
honestly,
chat with
nothing,
the person who
quite
came
frankly.
to deliver the water. He said he was headed somewhere near an oasis, but he didn't mention which one. Do you have a map?
Yeah,
mark
I
out
can't
the
think of a
direction
single
he was
guy
heading
that I
and the
actively
best
ship
routes
with
to
another
nearby
guy.
oases.
I have one. Mark away.
Because besides Kaveh and Al Haytham, this
Great.
game's kind of flip-floppy, you know? Like, it's a gacha and they have to sell you this character, so, like, they try very hard to make a lot of the characters feel like they're for you.
There you go.
So it kind of overrides them,
Thank you so much.
having, like,
You were a great
any
help.
terribly suspect interactions with
You've
each
got a really
other.
good memory.
Ah,
Except for
You're quite
Kaveh and Al Haytham,
Just
in which
doing
case
my
they
job.
overcorrected.
best of luck. I hope you find him soon.
Look at a character chart here real quick. Who's even in this game? If only we could fuck him. If only. If only this game had a romance mechanic.
What a wild and desolate sight. Allow me to grant you the blessing of water.
Yeah, Hoyo likes their Yuri. I mean, they bait both. They bait both, but like the Yuri stuff always has a lot more validity to it. Like, they never outright confirm either, at least not anything outside of Honkai 3rd. But like it's kind of like
The sun feels almost as hot as those studio lights I'm in front of all the time.
I'm so sorry, honey. Like Dr. Ratio and Aventurine over in Star Rail almost have the
I
same
see some
problem
people
as
over there.
Al and Kaveh, where it feels like they're trying a little too hard with them sometimes.
Do you think it's safe to ask them what they know?
Should be.
This game in general has a bad. They like to
I'll do
release
it.
male characters in pairs, you know. Like almost anytime a male character comes
Why
out
should
these days,
Cyno
like
go
they're
talk to
right
them?
alongside
What
another
difference does it
guy.
make?
So like they can try to
Given
bait
my
the Fujos
background,
without actually
appearance,
baiting
and
the
the way I
Fujos.
dress, I might not be the most welcome visitor here.
Cyno and
Just in
Tignari,
case,
Al and Kaveh.
It's probably better to
New
let
Viet
a
and
more neutral
Risley.
party handle things.
Ah, hello there. I hope I'm not interrupting. My friend and I are looking for an elderly man who's gone missing around these parts. Any chance I could ask you a couple of questions?
Oh shit, it's an actual character.
Oh, a missing person, huh? Sure. What do you want to know?
I'm just wondering if you've seen him.
Yeah, this
Let
guy.
me give you the details.
I have no idea who this character is, but his drip marketing came out for the next patch. No idea where he came from. What's your
So,
deal, sir?
A silver-haired guy in a long robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes, and he's traveling alone.
Is that Cyno Robinson?
Like a sore thumb around here.
Yeah, sounds like the kind of guy we'd remember if we saw him.
He's looking behind me.
And he looks at me,
That
and I
guy's
look at
looking
him,
our way.
and he looks at
Your
me.
friend over there stands out a lot too.
That is Cyno Robinson. Cool.
Hey, aren't you Cyno, the General Mahamatra?
Yes, that's me.
Aren't you
You
Claw
don't
from the
seem
hit game Fire
surprised
Emblem
that
Three
I
Houses?
recognized you.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, you're the one looking for the old man who's gone missing, aren't you?
I have a bad feeling about this guy.
Someone's on edge. You don't trust me much, do you? No need to hide it. I understand why you're wary of us. Still, you came to us asking
You have
for
an
help.
actual design like me, and
You
that
want it?
terrifies
No.
me.
I thought you were a group of merchants. Seems I was mistaken.
Your henchmen don't look like much.
Now
But
we just
something
see an
tells
Adel
me they
Clown
put up
look
a better
alike.
fight
Yes.
than most mercenaries.
The circle will be
Hey,
complete.
hear that, guys? You're my henchmen now.
Suits me, as long as I get paid for it.
Just cut to the chase already.
Yeah, I'm
running out
literally
of
looking at a list
patience.
of all the playable characters. Chat. Yeah, I don't think I ship
alright. Come with me.
any guys in this
All
game
of
with
you.
each other. I am a bad Fujo.
Don't you want to find your friend? Silver-haired, long-robed, culture type with thoughtful eyes?
With the way
Sounds
Nat was
like
advertised,
there's
you imagine there'd be a
whole other
pyro
side to
character?
Cyrus I
I
didn't
mean,
know
Natlan's
about.
not really being advertised
So
yet at
you
all.
know where he is.
Just follow me. I'll take you to him.
Like, we're still probably like 2 or 3 patches away from Natland. I hate to say it, but it'll be a while before we start getting sneak peeks of characters from that game. But do I ship any of the girls with girls? Once again, like a lot of the guys, they're clearly trying hard with a lot of them. Raiden and Miko, Candace and Dia.
What? Where are you looking? There's nothing here.
Please, step
Some
back.
other ones I can't think of.
Whoa, something's coming out of the ground!
Yeah, not really. I don't think so.
What is this enormous building doing here?
And how was it so well hidden? King Deshret's technology?
Yeah, Risley and Nuviet. I'm pretty sure people ship that.
Wait, so... Hold on, who are you guys really?
Is this the Temple of Silence? So you're a member?
All good questions. There'll be plenty of time to address them later.
There'll be plenty of time to address them when I actually have a name. I should know his name. It was on his drip marketing, but I don't remember it. Oh yeah, Beidou and Ningguang, yeah.
This is not what Paimon was
Again,
expecting to
I
find
think
in
it's
the
precisely
desert,
because they don't go
especially
hard
not
enough
hidden
with
right
it.
next to an oasis.
The only one they go super hard with, I feel like, personally, is Kaveh and Al-Haytham, and that one they go too hard on. It's so exaggerated, it feels less like romance and more like a sitcom arch nemesis. I've complained about, I've used that comparison before, I'm being redundant, I apologize. But,
What's wrong? Thinking about your professor?
yeah, I think everyone else,
just
like, they
hope for your
try
sake
to
you
imply
haven't done
things, absolutely,
anything
but,
you
like,
might
they don't go
regret.
deep enough with any of it.
Me too.
Because
Hope I
they
haven't
can't
done
go
anything
too
to
far with
incur
it, you
your
know?
wrath.
Because these characters are supposed to be for you. They have to leave just enough wiggle room to make you think that these characters would fuck you if you were a character in the game. They have to make you think you have a chance, right? Otherwise, you won't spend your money on them. Like, we could confirm that Raiden and Miko are lesbians, because they certainly seem to like to kind of lean towards that. But they've never outright confirmed anything, and they never will outright confirm anything, because then Raiden wouldn't make out with you. She's too busy making out with the Fox Lady, right? We can't have that. So yeah, no, I genuinely can think of very, very few things I ship in this game in general. Oh, that's absolutely Gashas in general. No question. This is not a complaint, so this is not me attacking Genshin. This is just an issue with Gashas in general. Yeah, like there are a couple of things that I find like moderately cute, but even then I can't really say I actively ship. Like I remember back in the day when this game was much smaller and had less characters to keep track of. Like there was definitely interactions I kind of picked up on. Like I remember thinking the idea of Fischl and Benny was really cute, but their reactions have been very limited. Interactions, not reactions.
All right, you can wait here for now. I'll inform our leader that you've arrived at the Temple of Silence. Sit tight until he comes to greet you.
So he's just gonna leave us here unattended?
Paimon, do you have a
Maybe
deviated
we're not
septum?
being kidnapped after all.
Just
It
your leak
can't
about the
have
new
been at the
Assassin's
Oasis by
Creed.
chance. They were waiting for us.
That don't sound
Whoever
good
the
at
leader
all.
is here, they were obviously counting on us showing up.
So this is the Temple of Silence. After leaving the rainforest, they hid themselves here?
Hey, look! That guy's coming back.
Name!
Don't worry. Someone will come and call for you soon.
What's your name?
Please, I can't keep calling you Cyno. It sounds too close to the way I say Cyno's name.
Sorry, guess I was so delighted to see you, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sethos.
Sethos!
I'll be here
that's
if you
the
need
bitch.
me, but I'm not planning on answering all of your questions. Other than that, you can occupy yourselves however you see fit.
So we're free to explore by ourselves.
Yep.
Yasuke is the
I'm
new
not
main
worried about
character,
you
so
running
racists are
off.
doing what they've always done and arguing if he wasn't the
Cyrus is
first
here.
black samurai.
And
Outstanding.
unless I've misunderstood, you're all quite anxious to
Isn't
see him
Yasuke like a very well documented historical
He's right.
fact?
Well, if we've got some time, we might as well take a look around.
Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure that racist idiots are in fact idiots. Talk to you first, because you're sussy baka.
Hey, Sethos. Have you got some time to chat?
Sure. Although, I'm assuming by chat, you mean you have questions for me? Not often. The Temple of Silence is a place of quiet and solitude.
Sorry, I don't think he was done
We
with his
don't get too
statement.
many visitors.
Also, probably should have read out the dialogue.
Yes, that was me. Although, tricked is a stretch. He was asking everyone in the tavern about ways to make some easy money. He insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it broke the law. So, I told him that Cyrus had embezzled a large sum of mora from the desert.
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not commit?
No.
Yeah.
That's not entirely true. Let me jog your memory. The letter just said that he had uncovered Cyrus's secret. It didn't say what secret that was. Of course, Uraka was a great accomplice, really. Very cooperative with a little bit of wine in him. Did exactly what he was told. And not much of an original thinker, though. It doesn't surprise me that he struggles academically.
Why did Cyrus leave for the desert as soon as he received the letter?
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. Certain things I can't answer for him. I'm neither judging nor defending him. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem, and it was his own choice to take the bait. What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra. Everyone in Sumeru knows who he is.
Yeah, but
right,
the question
but
was
back
there,
at
so
the
I picked it.
Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure.
Also, I'm
or you
canonically
wouldn't
an
have
idiot.
asked him. So, what we're really asking is, have you never seen him in person before?
I've lived in the desert my whole
Getting
life.
a lot of rolls lightly.
Guess you could say...
Lightly? Lately.
I've never had the pleasure.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's cool to hear him in more
this guy's
stuff.
not being straight with us.
He's very, very good.
Come on. We've only just met. If I give you all the answers up front, you'll have nothing left to look forward to.
Fair enough.
Nope. Not once.
I think the question is
Really?
slightly back, and I think that first one is the one I asked him
I have
already.
no need to go there. Not when the taverns are full of the Urakas of this world. Besides, we're well aware of what goes on at that place. Spies? It's not as clandestine as that. The city gates are wide open. Anyone's free to walk in. You can find out all you need to know just by walking around town and hearing the word on the street.
Heard something recently, don't know if it's true. Lay it on me.
Mm-hmm.
I never imagined that the true Temple of Silence would be hidden somewhere like this. We've passed through these parts before.
He got the fancy cutscene, but you
never
didn't?
noticed anything.
That's King Deshret's technology for you, I
That's
guess.
fine, I'll be in a Bleach opening.
It borders on the miraculous. Amazing to think that it's been preserved intact all this time.
We should be wary of our hosts. Still, at this
Kaku
point,
Black was actually
can be
supposed to be
confident
red,
that
but
the
then they realized
professor's
he couldn't
safe and
speak
sound.
Japanese that well.
So that's
Wow,
something.
dang. I did not know that. If it is true, you say yourself that you don't know if it's true or not. Yeah, I know he literally learned Japanese as he was on the set, hence why Jiraiya started
here he
speaking more
is.
Japanese as the show progressed. I'd argue it worked out fine, though. Anybody who's watched Kaku Angel Jiraiya tends to be one of their favorites, because his American cowboy thing is very, very fun and memorable.
Grandfather, the person you wish to see is here.
Well done, Sethos. Greetings, one and all. I am Ba Moon, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. I know why you are here, and I thank you for your patience.
Is that Prosody?
Bring him out.
Professor!
Cyrus, are you okay?
Ah!
Watch what you're doing!
Oh, my apologies. We have no intention of causing you distress. But you must understand, Cyrus is of great importance to us.
Oh no, the
We had to
Castle
find
of
a way
Old
to
Men will
bring him
decide our
back
fate.
to us. Cyrus owes me his life, and to the Temple of Silence, he owes a debt of gratitude. I let him go a long time
Yeah, his
ago,
training episode was really good.
now, the time has come to demand payment.
I wanted to end my feud with this old bag of bones before you caught up with me. But you got here so quickly. Just leave, Cyno. This is a matter between us two old men. You're all too young to get involved.
This is the matter between us two fake old men with fake facial hair.
You'd made up your mind to come here from the beginning. You only left in such a hurry to try and throw us off your trail.
Some things in life catch up with you, no matter what you do. You shouldn't have come. That alone brought the others.
Cyno didn't make us do anything. We came here for the same reason he did.
I was gonna say,
To
I'm not too
rescue
sure about
you.
Cyrus's VA.
We'd appreciate you telling us the truth.
Sethos'
Otherwise, it
grandpa,
seems
I
a
think,
little
might be
unfair on
Pro
everyone
CD.
who had to stay behind.
And obviously Sethos himself is
Secrets are
Cyno.
secret for good reason. Bringing them to light
But
can
Cyrus, I can't quite tell.
only lead to misfortune.
You're afraid, aren't you? You can't bring yourself to speak of your past deeds to the students you nurtured as if they were your own children. You recognized our emblem because for many years you lived among us. Indeed, you all
Sus.
but became one of us. You knew as soon as you saw the letter that
Yeah,
we,
same. It
not
definitely
Uraka,
sounds
were the
vaguely
ones
familiar.
speaking to you. It threatened you only because you know
But I
what
can't
you
quite
did.
pin it.
Your own guilt convicted you. For you, Cyrus, are a traitor. You once shared your learning with us, and joined us in our mission to revive the might of Hermanubis, to bring new hope, new opportunity. But then, you betrayed us. You bargained for your independence with your past contributions. And then you left, taking with you Hermanubis' might and the wielder of his power. We both know what I said to you that day. That as the leader, I grant you permission to leave, but that one day, the sands of time will catch up with you. And when that day comes, you must pay the price you owe.
You really know how to hold a grudge.
Hermanubis' might? And the wielder of his power?
Does he mean you?
Professor, anything to say?
The moon is right. I came here once before. He rescued me from the brink of death once, many years ago in the desert. When he learned that I was a scholar, he invited me to come here and revive the might of Hermanubis together.
Jesus, kid.
It was a
I'm glad,
great
with an asterisk, that little Creepo's enjoying Saber.
one shrouded in secrecy. The Temple of Silence had been bereft of Hermanubis.
Again, I'm always happy when people find something that brings them joy and happiness. Even when I'm disturbed at what brings them joy and happiness.
Bamoon proposed that we implant bar fragments, shards of Hermanubis, into the bodies
Saber
of
is great if you love
suitable
dudes staring
vessels.
intensely at each other.
If the
And
experiment
I
was
do.
successful, the
Yeah.
spirit of Hermanubis would then dwell
Again,
within
if he
many believers volunteered themselves.
he's getting more out of the out of some of the shows than I would.
We soon discovered
And
that
I'm
the
happy
bodies
for him.
of grown adults could not withstand Hermanubis' power. In the end, Bamoon offered his own adoptive grandson.
Again, generally speaking, Kamen Rider
One
at
other
its
child
worst
was identified
is
as a
still better than a
suitable
lot of
vessel,
other stuff at its best.
and his parents agreed
So I
to
do get
release
it.
him into our custody.
But also, once again, if he likes
small
Revice, I will be a little sad.
These two children were our only
Just gonna keep it
hope
100.
for hosting Hermanubis's power.
Again, like, if he has, like,
For many
any
years,
genuine
the Temple
praise
of
for
Silence
Revice, if
had
he
been
just
in
likes
possession
cool
of
things
two
happening in some
Ba
cool suits, then
fragments from
whatever.
Hermanubis. As remnants of his raw power, they were exceedingly rare treasures. The test subjects were sent into a room that had been prepared for the ceremony and instructed to approach the Ba fragments.
Same
whose
with me, to
power
be
had
honest,
been
Dusk, thank
amplified.
you.
If, after some time, this power did not repel them, this would mean that they were suitable vessels. The original plan was for a 3-stage experiment. Resonance,
He tends not to say the
implantation,
bad parts out
and
loud, except
recovery
Decade
and
for some
observation.
reason. Well, because
The resonance
Decade is
stage went quite smoothly for
very
both
obviously
candidates.
indefensible
As the
in a lot of
second
parts,
stage
you know?
began, I realized a decision had to be made. Should we implant the fragments one at a time?
It's kind of hard not
This
to talk
would
about the
allow
obvious
us to
issues
monitor
it
the
has.
results after the first round, and
Especially
adjust
when
our
you've
plan
watched all the
accordingly.
seasons that it's homaging,
Or
allegedly.
alternatively, we could implant each fragment in a different vessel at the same time and compare their effects. But as I was deliberating, both Ba fragments suddenly became active. They glowed with a light we had never seen before. I knew that if they were not implanted right away, they would disintegrate and be
So
gone
Revice
from
will
the world
also
for
obviously
good.
be indefensible,
Our
right?
two vessels have
Right?
both displayed great promise by successfully resonating
Surely.
with the fragments. Under the circumstances, the thought of implanting both fragments into the same vessel seemed out of the question.
Put out the
To
retrospective on
preserve our
Revice
faith
before he can
and
get
our
to it so I
power,
can influence
we
him.
implanted each of them with a single fragment.
He's not gonna watch that video.
I ended the
Unless you mean
experiment,
influence him through the collective consciousness / morphogenetic
taking
field.
one of the children with me.
In which case, maybe.
In recognition of your past contributions, I chose not to send someone to hunt down and kill you both. Your lives were spared, but I have paid a great price for your betrayal ever since. I have always wanted to see you, Cyno. Losing you and your Ba fragment dealt us a devastating blow. We've been in decline ever since you left.
I see.
Dave Fenroy,
So that's how I
Lee
gained
from
my
the Walking
power.
Dead games. Okay.
Look, in essence, I borrowed your Ba fragment for a decade or so.
Not familiar with him, but he sounds nice.
Now you are seeking justice.
He sounds like an
You
old
want
man.
to take my life, then so be it. I'm an old man now, anyway.
Okay, cool, but what does this have to do with
You
Yu-Gi-Oh?
cannot lift a finger against Cyno. He is the General Mahamatra.
What does this have to do with making Lacouse
Your
love me?
actions would be seen as a declaration of war against the Academia.
I'm sure you don't remember anymore, dear Cyno, but you've met us all before. You were so young then, when we all gathered around and celebrated the revival of our Lord. You and he, Sethos, you were our final hope.
You'd like me to return my power?
Bruh.
As a follower of Hermanubis, I have allowed this power to remain in the rainforest for far too long. Now, it is time to reclaim it.
That
I'm not
power
giving you my Exodia.
is not yours to reclaim. Cyno was chosen by the gods. You cannot
I was gonna say, I
take
don't think
what
that's how
they
being
have
blessed by the
bestowed.
gods works, my dude.
You are wrong. Cyno was chosen, but he was not the only one. My child, Sethos, has the same gift as he.
So those are your terms for freeing the professor?
Despise me all you want. My sins are my own. The Temple of Silence is an innocent party.
Please
It
no.
is because
Cyno
of
is
my
already considered
foolishness
man the
all
meta.
those years ago that the
Is he
temple's
considered low
glory
tier
has
these days? I
waned.
don't pay enough attention to it
And
these
now
days.
I must take responsibility for the decision
Let me look
I
up
made back then.
a tier list
So what
here.
you're saying is, the power of one Ba fragment is not enough? You're asking me to return the one in my possession, so it can be implanted in him instead?
Divine power causes great suffering to those who wield it. How do you know that Sethos would be able to withstand it?
He is no longer a small child.
Genshin.gg has him in the same tier as Dia. That is definitely not true. And Ito?
Both
And you
my
would be
heart and
okay,
mind are
nah.
telling me that what you are proposing is a terrible idea. However,
Surely
listen to
Genshin.gg is
him,
just a
Cyno.
shitty tier list, right?
That power is no more yours to give than it is his to take.
I'm not saying he's the best of the game, but there is no
I
way
know.
he's in the same tier as Dia.
but
Dia
if this is a
trash.
question of your freedom versus a fragment of power, then
Nah, fuck
there is
this list.
nothing
In the
to
trash
debate.
it goes.
Sorry to interrupt, but in my
Never
view,
using
there are
this
a number
tier
of
list
contentions
again.
here that
This
still
is
need
obvious
addressing.
bullshit.
Say that Cyno refuses to return his power, and
Yeah, no, he's
you
not
also
bad.
refuse
He's just
to release
outclassed.
Cyrus. Then we are at an impasse. I find it hard to believe that you went to all this effort without planning
That's
for that
nonsense.
possibility. You're trying to gauge where we stand while keeping your remaining cards close to your chest. Well, my stance is, put the rest of your cards on the table. Then we can have a discussion.
Wait.
Oh yeah, Gamrick, that can happen.
So,
It's
we
great.
have a descendant of the Valuka Shuna in our midst. Splendid. Fate smiles upon us after all. Everything we have longed for, Hermanubis will provide. Perhaps this very day we'll...
Oh, damn it! Oh, I thought he just immediately fucking died. He's still coughing. Oh, that would have been so
Why is
good.
he coughing so much? He looks like he's in really bad shape.
His condition is critical. He must have been forcing himself to act strong. His eyesight's failing him too. Otherwise, he would have noticed Chigdari's ears.
Moon, you...
Take our leader back to his room.
Sethos.
Dave Fenroy is fantastic. He's doing a fantastic job as a dying old man, if
Grandfather.
that is indeed him.
I know what you wish to say. Leave this in my hands.
Battle Angel Aelita, vaguely, yeah. I've never
I don't
actually
like
watched
to drag
it.
out conversations,
But I'm
so
aware
I'll
of
just
what
cut
it
to the
is.
chase. Had Cyrus not stopped
The original show
experiment
and
all those
the
years
weird
ago,
movie.
the plan would most likely have been a success. The wisdom of Hermanubis would have been ours. Still, it's no use talking about what-ifs. We cannot change the past. I'm not like my grandfather. The Temple of Silence has a grand legacy and a sacred duty to fulfill. So it's somewhat inevitable for the leader to have an inflated sense of self. But I see things a little differently. I don't believe the temple has the same stature that it once did. Time has worn away at its prestige and changed things almost beyond recognition. So I'm not going to force your hand. You're all free to leave.
The anime one of Robert Rodriguez. Was it Robert Rodriguez who made the next one? I thought it was
gave him his
James Cameron,
chance
who is
once.
always obsessed with making a
And now I'm
live-action
giving
Battle
the
Angel
rest of
Aelita.
you yours.
Was that not him? That really weird-looking one that came out like
Wise
semi-recently?
judgment, kid. Reminds me a lot of Bamoon in his younger years. I just... Oh, I
Robert
truly
Rodriguez,
wish
okay,
that
my
the
bad.
temple would take an objective look at the
I haven't seen
academia
any of them.
today.
I don't know what other ones you're talking about.
Yourself. I'm sure you've seen that much has changed for the better.
Again, never watched the
Things will
show.
only continue to improve. Why
Just
not
aware that it
consider
exists.
cooperating with the academia once more?
If you hadn't betrayed my grandfather, I might well be open to persuasion. But it's a bit too late for that now, Cyrus.
Tainari made a good point earlier.
Or no, I'm sorry, Cyrus.
He said there has to be more to your plan
Cyrus
than
is
this,
the one who's
and
the
I
who's
agree.
apparently
All you and
Fenroy.
Balmoon are after is the Ba fragment. The professor will accept
Also,
whatever
yeah, Bale,
fate
that's
you
really
deem
cool.
fit for him out of a sense of guilt.
But he started
I
actually
am
getting
the one who has a choice to
teary-eyed
make.
over it.
And that's how it was always going to be. Ultimately, you want to trade the Ba fragment for the professor, correct?
I'm glad to see you're giving it some serious consideration.
I won't forsake my professor, nor do I intend to run from a problem that I must face sooner or later. Give me one night to make my decision.
That works. Then I'll be waiting to hear your verdict. Cyno. Oh, my grandfather still has a fair few things he wants to say to Cyrus, so I'll be escorting him back now.
Are you sure about negotiating with him?
I need to think this through.
Oh, James Cameron
Everyone,
did still
let's
write
meet
the
again
script.
later
Okay.
tonight.
I was gonna say
Until
it would be
then,
weird if he wasn't involved
Take
at
some
all.
time for yourself.
Because I remember reading about
Alright,
that for
well,
years in
don't
all
put
like
too
my
much pressure on
shitty
yourself,
early
Cyno.
2000s anime
If you need any
magazines.
help working things out, just
About how
come
for
and
some
find us.
goddamn reason James Cameron was just obsessed with Battle Angel Alita specifically. Out of all the anime you could possibly be obsessed with. For some reason he was like super gung-ho about making that one a live action film. Yeah, like literally as early as like 2006, if not even earlier. I remember I would see him talking about like, yeah, I'm making that. Misread the time, don't mind me. Or the manga. Probably more based on the manga than the anime, but either way, you get what I mean. It's the only way to travel.
I've taken some time to reflect on this.
I like the...
If I had to guess, Professor Cyrus came to the desert knowing that he would almost certainly never
What a
return.
pointless segue. With him asking that, I thought the implication was, okay, we're gonna leave the temple and go talk about it somewhere more comfortable. Nah, we're just gonna wait around in the creepy, invisible pyramid for a couple hours and then talk about it with the people who are already here.
He's a stubborn man who tends to double down when he feels strongly about something. We won't get anywhere trying to convince him to escape.
I agree. My master Nephis says the same thing. Once Cyrus makes up his mind about something, he won't listen to reason.
Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. A few other things come to mind too. You've heard all you need to hear about the Temple of Silence. So on that, I don't have anything to add. My own memories of this place are hazy though. Probably something to do with the overpowering presence of the Ba fragments. That might explain why I suffered from constant headaches and fevers as a child.
I just realized, is it not weird that they gave Cyno a story quest?
When vague images would appear
In a
my
patch where
mind.
he's not getting a rerun or
But
anything?
I don't recall much, only bits and pieces.
I don't know why, I just
I was
realized
still
that.
young
That's kind of
then,
strange.
And all I could understand was that there was a strong will inside my mind. Thinking back on it now, I suppose it was Herm Anubis' way of trying to encourage me, even if we couldn't communicate. The power that came to inhabit my spirit was probably one of the cornerstones of their whole faith. So if the will and might of Herm Anubis is a real, intangible thing, and they are its rightful worshippers, then...
You're not gonna give in to their demands, are you? Surely there has to be another way.
Let's just kill him.
No. I have no intention of returning it.
Oh.
I need this power to protect Sumeru.
How asexual this
But
game when
the
there's
temple
basically
has
no
the right to make the
relationships.
final decision over its fate.
Yeah, I guess.
Since it belongs to one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret.
If that's an argument you
So
wanted to
I
make
will
for whatever
challenge
reason,
them
I
head on,
don't. And that's as
and win the
an
right to
asexual
wield
myself.
this power for myself. Fair and square.
I don't want to argue that this game is sticking for asexual rights or whatever, because I don't think it's intentional.
Just before we left, he said that the Temple
Again,
of
it's
Silence
just
was
smart
originally
business.
founded by the ruling elite of the day.
We can't push anyone too far in
Such
any direction.
organizations are bound by a strict and ancient code
Because
of
no matter
nobility.
which character you is, no matter
Kaveh
how
has made
innocuous you
similar
think it is, there's
observations
a
about
fan
the
out
desert
there
tribes
who
from
wants
his
to marry
work
that
trips there.
character.
He says many of them have their
And is
own
willing to
internal
spend
rules.
thousands of dollars
They
to
talk
make
about
themselves
the
feel like
importance
they're
of never
marrying that
dishonoring their
character.
tribal bonds or the rules laid down by their ancestors. I think we could turn that to our advantage. Go back to them with a proposal of our own.
Never rep now say thank you, miHoYo. No, I don't think I will.
We've turned the tables on them.
Looks like we have the same idea. Turn it back on them now while we still can, in terms that they cannot refuse.
Great. And I know just how to start the conversation. Let's go find Cephas.
Sorry, I think that
We'll
that
tell
dialogue
him that
option
I
may have
know a
popped
thing
up
or
too
two
soon.
about medicine and would like to take a
I
look
heard
at his
some overlap
grandfather's
there.
condition.
Seems like I may have cut someone off a little bit too soon. Let's go faster. Let's go faster.
Sethos, let's talk.
My knee hurts. I should stop moving.
Have you made up your mind?
We'll get to that, but first, I have some degree of medical training. So
sitting on
I
my
was
knee in a
wondering
very
if you might
awkward
let me
way.
take a look at your grandfather?
I should not have been doing it in the first place. Never mind.
Although we do have
Stop
our own
doing it.
doctors
It
here.
hurts.
I doubt you'll be able to
Don't know
tell
why I
us
was sitting
anything
that way.
we don't already know.
Only one way to find out.
Follow me. Keep your voices
Secret, you got
down.
Shark Week. I'm so
We
sorry.
don't want to disturb him.
Hope it's as quick and painless as it possibly can be.
Let's talk outside.
Just
Our moon has
just
fallen
send,
into a
just
deep
send your
coma,
cramps to
and
Vegeta.
His
That's a thing
prognosis
we
is
can do,
quite
apparently.
grave.
I had no
I'm
idea.
sure that your physicians have come to the same conclusion. He appears to have sustained a serious
I
injury
learned
in
something
his
today
youth,
after
which
all.
has been exacerbated over the years by the heavy burden of work and now by
Ooh,
the effects
exacerbated.
of old age.
Fancy word.
Regretfully, I must inform
Hopefully
you
this
that
must be helpful for your cousin visits, you know?
based on what I've seen with patients in a similar condition, he doesn't have long left. A few days at most.
So let's just kill him now.
I've known for a long time.
You're his heir, aren't you? You clearly have a lot of respect for the man. But you also see things differently. You have a broader range of concerns and a more pragmatic approach. So tell me how we can end this on your terms. Let's find a way to bring all this to a resolution while Bamoon is still alive to see it. That's what really matters to you. I know it.
Yeah, there's no time to waste here. You know that better than anyone.
You know,
I heard your
the two
period's
of you are
pretty strong.
actually
Let
in
me
a very
fight it.
similar predicament right now.
Bruh.
Both of you have a very different perspective from the men who raised you.
Right. And you didn't create this situation. They did, but somehow you've ended up having to make the tough decisions.
You're right. We both look at this problem very differently than the people we inherited it from. I accept, Cyno. This all began because of Hermanubis. So let's end it with the rite he himself created. Legend has it that when Hermanubis first arrived in Tuletula, he sparred with the city's residents. He and his two companions proved their mettle by fighting over several days.
Who's talking shit?
Winning the support of many fine people. That group of supporters were some of the first members of the Temple of Silence, and the sparring matches were enshrined as one of our founding rites, the rite of duels. It's where it all began.
Sounds very fitting. I'm in.
As a fellow vessel of Hermanubis, your ties to the Temple of Silence run deep. So I will permit you to participate in this rite.
Not Dusk, not today.
Along
Stu.
with your
Stu,
chosen
you
companions.
slut!
3 against 3. Sounds good.
However, I have some additional terms. As the challengers, you must win all 3 of your fights to win. And Cyno, both of us must put our Ba fragment on the line. The winner takes them both. Letting Cyrus leave with one of the Ba fragments was a mistake
it all.
made by my grandfather out of pity. It is a long-standing issue that must be addressed for the Temple of Silence to move forward. I can make no concessions on that front.
None needed. We're on the
Livestream
same
chat,
page.
what you got?
If I win, the Temple of Silence must release Cyrus and consider this
Hey
past
kid, I heard you
dispute
beat that cancer guy.
resolved.
You must be pretty
If
strong.
you win, I'll return my power to you.
Goku,
It's a deal.
no!
Then let's meet at the ceremonial hall tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock.
Oh, come on! Arlecchino doesn't know how to use stairs. It's very tragic.
After how that went, there's definitely no
Don't be
turning
mean to
back
her.
now.
There never was. Turning back hasn't been an option for me since the moment the professor slipped away to return to the desert.
You have to win. You need this power, both as General Mahamatra and for yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Besides, it stayed with you ever since you were a small child. Surely that's a sign it thinks of you as its rightful owner.
Both as General Mahamatra and for myself. Yeah, when you put it that way. I've had to overcome a lot to tame this power and claim it for myself. Not everyone could have done that.
Exactly.
The Traveler and I will never lose.
And neither shall I. The desert was home to an ancient and great civilization that, for a variety of reasons, fell out with the civilization of the rainforest. It's just as Dia said. Prejudice has pushed people apart. But there must be personal factors at work here too. I can't shake the feeling that Bamun cares for many more things than he lets on. And I don't think that Zethos is any kind of villain. He's just doing what he thinks is best. Tomorrow, everything will be resolved.
This better count us tomorrow. Game. I'm still so glad that that's not skippable, by the way. No, not that. Stupid Sephiroth mode. Activate. I'm guessing this isn't an actual location I'm going to be able to come back to, by the way, so I hope there's no treasure here.
The rite of duels, with the greatest of all sages, Lord Hermanubis is our witness, for his power and authority is present in our midst. This is our most sacred of ceremonies,
Oh, last chat, sorry.
and no disruption from the audience shall be tolerated. It is incumbent upon all to observe the duel with the utmost respect
What a good
and
guy.
reverence throughout the proceedings.
What a good husband.
Representing the Temple of Silence, the Defenders.
Grandfather, you're here.
A rite of duels after all these years. I am surprised by your decision, Zethos.
I know what I'm doing, Grandfather. Just leave it to me.
Representing the Academia, the Challengers.
Ready. We will fight to have our voices heard.
Warriors, take your positions and decide on the order of battle.
I was going to say, is this actually going to be a 3 against 1
not
fight?
To debate what brings our challengers here, nor
That's
what
fucked
will
up.
become of the defeated duelists. Duelists, the might of Hermanubis himself is at stake here. Now, fight. Fight until the rightful victor is proclaimed.
I'll go first. And go I mean my 4 party members who aren't me.
Huh? Are you sure?
I agree. She's very strong. Sending her out first will definitely intimidate the opposing
We're gonna
side.
fight 3 versus 1.
Then you're second.
Sure.
We have
Bruh.
decided.
So have we. Let's begin.
Or are there going to be NPCs out in front of him?
Duelists of the first bout.
There's probably going to be
please
like
step
NPCs I have to fight to get through to him. You better not be making me fight as me. Especially not when I have Dendro Traveler equipped. Or what? Hydro.
Don't forget, safety first.
Dendro's the good one. Oh yeah! Oh my god!
You better play
base?
nice with her. Paimon will make you regret it.
I mean, not
bit
base
too
for making me
much
do this
chatter
at all.
From the audience over there.
You're wasting my time making me fight with the worst character, but at least they gave me my good class back, I suppose.
Scatter!
I'm vegan, that's fine. Vegan is literally the only decent traveler class. Also, I like how I complained about, oh, it's 3-on-1. That's not fair. They're probably gonna send NPCs to fight me. Says 2.
A swift
Is she the worst
end
Hydro?
to the first bout.
I could not tell you.
I now invite the duelists of the second
I
bout
genuinely
to
cannot tell you which
please
traveler
step
the is the worst.
When you're both ready,
all of them are
you
pretty
may
rough.
begin.
It might be.
Watch out!
I checked the tier list again, but that last tier list I looked at is bullshit.
He drank plenty of water before the bout, so he should be fine.
One with the forest. I hear everything.
Bruh.
And Shroud.
I see you.
Oh, one thing
Dude.
after Let's nip that in the bud.
Yeah, they give you the water things to use with her. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. But yeah, I'm not gonna check a tier list, because that tier list I found is bullshit. I'd have to figure out what Genshin tier lists are actually accurate these days. But yeah, Hydro might be the worst.
Thus ends the second bout. We will now move to the third bout. Duelists, please step forward.
I'm ready.
So am I.
This is the final stage of the rite. I remind you both that the terms you agreed upon in advance are binding. When you're both ready, you may begin.
This one's gotta be a cutscene, right? They're not gonna make me engage in a wimpy. I should've checked their artifacts. I didn't even think about that. I should have checked the Traveler Tignari's artifacts.
Grandson of Bamoon, the leader.
Let me guess,
of the
noblesse
Temple of
oblige.
Silence. For many years, we have
If
kept
anybody
our
has done
covenant
this or
with
does
Lord
this later, please tell me what their
by
artifacts
guarding
were,
the
so I can
secrets
laugh.
of King Deshret. And even in our darkest hour, when we could not see a way forward, we chose not to abandon hope, but to embark on a brave new experiment so that we might prevail. We earnestly sought Lord Hermanubis' wisdom and power, longing to see his spirit and his light descend upon us.
You'll let me know a secret thing.
I will fight to become the rightful wielder of that power.
I am Cyno, General Mahamatra of the Academia, student and successor of Cyrus, the Sage of Spontaman.
Sumeru Yu-Gi-Oh! Champion
I fight in
3
defense
years
of
running.
My power, my professor, and my nation.
That
and
too.
You. I
And
think
also
you
for
left some
Lacus.
things unsaid. This is a sacred duel, and Hermanubis is watching. So bare your soul.
Everyone, old and young, fit and frail, they're all waiting to see how this duel will end. My grandfather is a wise leader. He is also known to be a ruler who is not afraid to get blood on his hands. I understand his beliefs well, and I know what he expects of me. But our faith has held us back for too long. After I grew up, I went to the rainforest once, and I saw for myself the people of the city. Times have changed. The people of Sumeru are happier and more free now than in the past. I thought about this as I stood at one of the tallest points in the city, gazing down at the streets below. Then I thought of you, Cyno. You and I both wield the same power, but the lives we lead could not be more different. Each Ba fragment of Hermanubis stands for something different.
It's like the Parent Trap, but more convoluted. And we're
One of
not
many
actually
other
related.
secrets that have yet to be revealed.
Or are we?
I once thought that the nature of our fragments must be what makes us so different from one another. But maybe it's that you've found your answer, and I am still searching for mine.
I am more than just a warrior. I am my own person.
I am all of me.
The name Hermanubis has left its mark
Sounds really
on both
silly,
of us,
but also that.
shaped the course of our lives. We are his vessels.
I'm sorry, I wasn't actually
and yet
listening
we
to
are
any of
more
that.
Besides, so show me
I
your
was thinking
answer,
about
son.
Lacus,
Show me I can be more than my faith.
who's
More
totally
than the
into
power
me.
I wield. Show me the person I can become.
Show me that I can become a 5-star.
Bring it on.
I don't know. For all I know, maybe he is. There's 3 characters coming out next patch. I assume one of them has to be a 4-star, and he seems like the most likely, considering I never heard of him before. That drip marketing. Free render cutscene, let's go! That's pretty cool. I wonder if his gameplay is actually also going to be like that, like a 4-star version of Cyno.
That's all you've got? What happened to searching for your answer?
I don't think this is epic enough. Can somebody redo that
Fight's
type with like
over.
Star Trek music or something?
Do you yield?
You won.
Well then, looks like you found your answer.
It's a shame because I'm pretty sure that Zeno Robinson was also somebody in the Seed Freedom movie, but I can't remember who. I think he was on the same side as Caggie's character. I think it was just one of his Black Knight mooks. I forget which one.
I give his glory to you.
Well, now he's not gonna have any of that cool stuff when he's playable. Outstanding. Maybe still, I don't know. I haven't been looking at any leaks for Genshin lately. Oh, was he fucking, Evil McSerpentine? That asshole?
That light.
Captain Evil McEvil name?
That is the light of our Lord, the great Hermanubis, priest over all
Yeah,
other
that guy.
priests.
That's great.
His spirit dwells within that lightning, and his will lives on. Once a warrior of Tynar, he emerged from the barren desert sands to serve the god king Al-Ahmar. After the death of the god king, Hermanubis gathered his followers and the Tynarian priests and led them to the city of Tula. There,
Tula Lura?
they
I love that
founded
song.
the Temple of Silence. And from that day forth, we became stewards of all knowledge that survived from King Deshret's civilization. Barely a
Cool.
century
Explaining
passed
using
before
cool 2D
war
animations instead of a single
ravaged the
frame for
desert.
5 minutes!
One by one,
But
Eremite
Stu,
leaders
why do
took
birds
up
fly?
arms against each other in battles that would devour what little
Why would you
remained of
want to
their
look at something that actually looks kind of cool and keeps you
Only the
engaged,
wise
despite
city
being
of
kind of
Tule
technobabble
Tula was
heavy
spared
instead of a
under the
still image of a
guiding
bird?
hand of the Tynarians. But peace did not
Think about
last. Coveting the knowledge of King Deshret, the beasts set their eyes on Tule Tula, the king of Gurabad laid siege to the city and ordered the sages to surrender to him the Temple of Silence as proof of his victory. The ruling elite colluded with their oppressors, betraying the temple so as to hold on to their rule over the city. They declared that the knowledge guarded by the temple was the true cause of corruption. These were dark days, and we faced enemies on all sides. Our Lord had long since exhausted his strength, keeping the forbidden knowledge introduced by King Deshret at bay. To ensure the temple's continued survival, he broke his being into many pieces and began the ceremony of Hermanubis' legacy, bestowing his power upon his mortal followers.
Is that a jackal?
With this power, the
jackal.
temple was able to defeat the tyrant's army. Yet, we were not hailed.
Yeah, say what you will about Genshin, even at its most boring or
Unfamiliar as
tedious.
this power was,
These animations are always
it
cool.
struck fear into the people's hearts.
I'm a big fan
and
when they whip
drove
out this
them
art
to
style.
reject us. In the end, the people of the temple and the Tule Tula Tainarians left the city for good.
Tula,
made their way
Tula,
to the rainforest.
yeah.
What followed next was inevitable. The elite of Tule Tula fell and were decimated. War engulfed the desert. And we wandered from place to place, always in hiding, all the while keeping close watch over our secrets and staying true to our mission. Betrayal forced us out of the desert and into the forest. Then mistrust drove us from the forest.
War is totally
into
not
the desert
poggers, by
once
the way.
more. We have lived in exile for far, far too long. Yet,
You is praise
today,
experimentation. Yeah.
the Temple of
Again, like
Silence
I'm not an
has
expert. I couldn't tell you like how
witness
much
to the
effort or like
glory of
technical
Hermanubis
talent is going into these
once
sequences.
more. Thank you.
I just always think they look pretty cool. Better than a still image of a fucking bird. That was cool.
How is it? Do you feel okay?
That was cool. Anyway, who wants to play Yu-Gi-Oh? He's dead, Jim.
Grandfather.
Oh, well, not our problem. Bye! What?
Hey, Sethos. You'll get through this.
We got him in a coffin and arranged the ceremony that fast?
I'll miss him.
I am sorry for your loss.
I guess you were prepared.
Even though he
for
seemed like
this.
kind of a dick.
It's been a long time coming, huh?
Yeah, he's been on death's door
A
for
very quick funeral.
a very long time now. I think it was only through sheer willpower that he managed to hold on to this point. At least, he was able to see this chapter come to a close before he passed.
What's next for you?
Per my grandfather's last wishes, the Temple of Silence should submit to whoever possesses the largest number of Hermanubis fragments. That entitles you to be our new leader, Cyno.
But that's never going to work, as I'm sure you realize. I'm the General Mahamatra. I am needed back at the Academia.
I've got
I did
terrible
foresee
jokes
this
to tell.
possibility, and I gave it some thought.
In ancient Egypt, they are quick,
The
are
fact
they?
is,
that accurate?
I know next to nothing about the staff, records, and environment here.
That might be
As
accurate, I
such,
don't know.
I am ill-suited to be your leader, Sethos. I believe the honor should go to you. Were it not for this duel, or indeed if you had other intentions, the Ba fragments would most likely be in your hands by now. I'm sure Ba-Moon never meant for anyone but you to be his successor.
You really think so?
I do.
Still, I didn't think Ba-Moon looked very surprised by the final result. Perhaps he had an inkling that this would be the way things end.
Well, in any case, since the Ba fragments are with me now, I guess I can call the shots. Sethos, I would like you to succeed Ba-Moon as the new leader of the Temple of Silence. You are more suited to the role than I, and I have complete faith that you will be an excellent leader. Just think of it as doing me a favor.
But doesn't that render everything that we've been through up to now meaningless?
No, it doesn't. This experience has allowed us to become friends, which means that the Academia and the Temple of Silence will become partners once more. That's a much bigger deal than you might think, Sethos. You said yourself, times have changed. You have to believe that things can change for the better here at the temple too.
I will try. To be honest, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
Actually, part of me wonders whether Ba-Moon's intentions from the very beginning was just to create enough pressure to force us towards a duel. That way, no matter who won, one of us would have to surrender our Ba fragment, and the power of Hermanubis would be concentrated in one single person. Had you won, the Temple of Silence would have doubled its strength. And were I to win, he correctly anticipated that I wouldn't suddenly drop everything to become the leader of the temple, much less integrate the temple into the Academia by force. He knew that the temple's future would depend not just on the guidance of Hermanubis, but the support of the Academia too. So he made it his responsibility to ensure his successor would be free from the burdens of the past. His plan meant that whoever ended up succeeding him, they would have an easier time interacting with the Academia. With one single letter, he lured out the professor. No matter what happened after that, it would result in a net benefit to the temple.
And here I thought the General Mahamatra wouldn't care for all these trivial details. You're absolutely right. Grandfather and I considered this from every angle. We had to find a way to mend our relationship with the Academia.
No matter what.
In that sense, the right of duels was just a means to an end. Thank you for everything, Cyno. As a gesture of our gratitude,
we'll find the strength
to those that you
win.
and Lesser Lord Kusanali deem worthy, I will grant the honor of access to the Temple of Silence for their pursuit of knowledge. The Temple of Silence has a wealth of information on King Deshret's civilization.
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
More
are we
than any
supposed to still be
organization
calling
in
her that?
existence today. In times when you need information that only we can provide, we will be here
I
to
thought her
support
title
you.
changed after we
But you must
retconned
be
reality
exceedingly careful with your selection of
to erase
candidates,
the first Archon.
lest you lead humanity to repeat the same mistakes.
Or did the context of the
And
name
by
just
the way,
change? Like it's supposed to be a
Tainari,
term of endearment now or something?
My grandfather
I don't
was
remember.
so happy to see you. You are a descendant of the Veluca Shuna, and we are the heirs to the will of Hermanubis. The story goes that King Deshret chose the sage Hermanubis from among the Tainarians and appointed him as his familiar. He went on to fight many valiant battles with his Tainarian companions. They always stood by each other, from the founding of the Temple of Silence to the fall of Tuletula. The Tainarians who left Tuletula
Stop saying that
joined
name.
their human counterparts in the rainforest. A few centuries later, when some of the group
Making me
returned
think
to the
about
desert,
ska music,
many of the Tainarians chose to stay.
which is making me think
and
about
put down
Mission
roots
Hill,
in the rainforest.
which is
In
making
all
me think about the term
likelihood,
Kafka-esque.
Those were your ancestors.
How fascinating. My father once mentioned that I was named after the Tainarians, but I never knew that my forebears
brain's a
had such a
mess.
history with the Temple of Silence.
I like this story.
By the way, has anyone seen Cyrus?
Who?
Yes, Cyrus. You'll probably find him in my grandfather's room. He wouldn't show it in front of me, but I think he still has many fond memories of my grandfather.
Oh my
If
god,
it's
they
true
were
that you and your
roommates.
grandfather really planned for everything to turn out this way, then I guess he didn't really resent Cyrus as much as he appeared to.
Who knows? Perhaps all of us. You, me, and Cyrus. We're all just pawns in my grandfather's plan to set things straight. He was awful like that.
Someone's got to make the decisions
Told
when
you he was kind of a
history is
dick.
at a crossroads. I will make a detailed report on all of this to Lesser Lord Kusanali, and arrange for an official delegation from the Academia to come and meet you in the desert. I'm sure you'll have lots to attend to in the days ahead. But once things return to normal, please come and visit the rainforest again. You should stay for a few days this time, and start to build some relationships. If we're going to work together, both sides have to get to know one another better.
I will. All right. Well, bye for now, everyone. I'll be seeing you.
See you soon. Come hang out with us anytime.
See you in the next patch, my guy. This quest took a little bit longer than I was thinking. I forgot how long character quests can kind of go on. And he was never seen again. I don't know. Again, I've not looked at leaks for Genshin at all lately. I imagine he'll probably get a hangout event, maybe? Yeah, they don't fucking make those anymore. We get hangout events once in a blue goddamn moon. They just don't seem to understand, not understand, I don't know, they just don't seem too interested in making them anymore. Wanna do another one? Yeah, chat, let's do an all-nighter. Chat, let's do an impromptu subathon. I'll keep going. Remember to subscribe right now if you want to see Chiori's quest. Yeah! Chiori! Right? Come on! I know we all want to know what her deal is.
What were you thinking gallivanting off into the desert alone at your age? What if you take the bucket? You told not a soul what you were up to, designated nobody to handle your affairs, and left everyone scrambling
Not sure if that
frantically to
person's
try
in
and
the
figure
chat,
out
but you
how on
enjoy that.
earth
Thank you
to
very
clean up the
much.
colossal mess you'd made.
Oh, please, will you stop your yelling?
God.
What other choice did
How
I
is this
have?
nerdy character still alive?
What do you mean, what other choice? Do you mean to tell me that after all
You
your
reveal a
years
character
of
that looks
learning
this stupid, I'm
and
going to assume
sagehood,
he's
no
evil
less,
and gonna
the
die.
only idea you could conjure
So
with
you
that
gotta
white-haired
do it.
walnut of yours was to shoot off into the unknown like some
I
hot-headed
mean, do we
20-year-old
want to learn
adventurer?
about Shiori, or do we want to watch at
One-man
least 1 or 2
suicide
episodes of
mission,
Parasite?
That's the best idea that one of the finest minds of a generation could come up with, is it? It astounds me
Also,
that
yeah,
you
it does. Yeah,
survived
Twitch
the
added a
journey.
thing where they
And you're lucky
they
that
keep track of
Bamoon
sub
didn't
goals for
finish
you.
you off when you arrived.
So I don't need to busy up the
Alright,
overlay with it anymore.
Honestly, the way you're going off on me, it's
I'm
like
not sure if
you
I want to
wish you'd
redesign
been
the
there
overlay. I'm
to
kind of
lend
happy
a
with it
hand.
the way it is right
Does
now.
it mean
But
nothing to you that I'm your colleague and former
if I do ever
classmate?
decide to do that, it's an option.
I've got nothing
Since
more
Twitch
to
now does
say.
that for me.
What's the point of berating an old bag of bones?
Genshin's the
What do you
funniest option.
mean, bag of bones? I'm a flesh and blood hero who, despite his old age, saved our General
I'm a hero.
Mahamatra from being stripped of his powers.
Yeah,
Okay,
but what have you done for me today?
Fine, I admitted I was in the wrong. How can I make it up to you? What about, a month's work at the Academia?
1 month? Try 3.
Inari's master is really laying into
I
Cyrus.
just had kind of a funny idea. I'm not sure how viable it would be.
Give them a wide berth.
And I forget what the exact suggestion was. I know Giant Bomb, or not Giant Bomb, good god. Giga Boots did something
Professor
similar
brought
at one
this on
point.
himself. Don't pay any attention to him.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to speak
Wow,
this into existence.
I haven't seen
'cause I don't know
Master
if I
get
wanna
this
play
riled up in a
quest.
long time.
I
The
also
last
don't
time
even
he
know for
chewed
sure if
someone
I'm
out
gonna
like
play
this
that
must
other
have been
game or
back
not.
when I was still a student.
I think I'll go around and update everyone. Tell them the situation's resolved. Want to come with me? We can go for dinner afterwards. My treat. You in?
Depends on what
Makes
we're getting.
sense. I'm in.
Free food is... Dude, food! LMAO, always happy to help.
Paimon's coming too! Let's go!
Dude, Paimon was being so quiet for a while, I was literally just gonna say, man, Paimon didn't say anything towards the tail end of that quest, and the tail end of that quest was pretty cool. I wonder if there's a correlation. And then she ruined it. Hey, Zilch. Finished up your last final thingy for this semester of
Hey,
school? Yo,
Paula.
that's awesome, dude. Congrats.
You're back! Well, look who we have here.
Hatsune
Would you mind
Miku
explaining
jump
to me
scare!
What has been going on this past few days? I heard you all ran off into the desert and got embroiled in a major catastrophe.
All taken care
Where
of.
the fuck is Yamato?
That does not answer my question. How could you be so careless? That goes for you as well. Yes, and you too. When you run into problems, you really ought to ask for help, you know? I've been around the block.
That
you
is
think it would've made
Genshin
sense to
Hatsune
involve me?
Miku, and she has
And
been
let's not
here.
forget, I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Now would not be a good time to attempt to argue with Farazan.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. It's not the first time that I've had to talk to you about this sort of thing either. You need to learn that there are times when the right thing to do is get a more experienced member of staff involved. Do I make myself clear? Because if you don't,
Kale, please do something.
Why would she be able to do
She's giving
anything?
me the signal. All right, guess it's time to put
Is
my
she
face
her
in the hole.
retainer now?
Say, Madame Farazan, I can see you're pretty upset, but, I was just wondering, remember that time you offered to give me a tour of the
Bruh.
academia? Does that offer still stand? Huh?
Are you that easily placated?
Wait, did I hear that right? Kale, you remember? Wonderful. Well, of course the offer still stands. Come on. Madame Farazan will show you around the old classroom.
No, well, like seriously, like I know, Stu, I know you've got a hate on for him, and I respect it, but
Poor Kale getting dragged out
like we
that.
have not seen him in quite a
Also,
while,
check
and
out
I'm almost kind of
Farazan
starting to
acting
get
like
worried
some
because
sort
of it.
Official academia tour guide.
I really hope that that weird backlash the China fan base had against him for a while didn't actually convince them to stop using him.
Right.
He is way...
do you mean,
Stu, it is not
You mean
good,
cup?
Stu. The way they
I
went
can
about
get you a cup.
protesting his existence went way
It's
too far.
nothing. Just Master's way
No,
of reminding
Stu,
me to stay hydrated
Stu,
while
they
I'm out and
killed
about.
cats. They killed kittens because they hate a fictional video game character just for being
It's
rude to them
code
and
for
not being,
let's
"Ooh,
reconvene
woo,
at
I'm
the
your
cafe."
waifu /
Tainari and I
Bondo."
used it while we were in school.
That is
And
not a
it's
dub.
become something of a
No,
family
this is a thing
tradition.
that happened. We do not condone this.
Mm-hmm. 2 people left. Let's bring them along too.
How do I look? This way. I think. Yellow dots, stop disappearing. Yellow dots, save me. You don't know what to say? Yeah, no, I don't even want to talk about it any more depth. If you're curious, Google exists. You can probably find a bunch of articles about it or videos about it. I think Tectone did one on it. But yeah, it was a whole ass thing. I don't know if I assume it's not still going on. Precisely because the character hasn't really been around. But yeah.
Am I hallucinating? Or do I see Kaveh and Alhaitham engaged in diligent studying?
We're just reorganizing all the books we used. Look, there's a whole mountain of them.
There's no rush. Nobody reads these books anyway.
My sincere thanks to you both.
Wonder what my opinion of this.
Yes,
be
with
by
your
now.
help. We resolved the issue rather
This is
swiftly.
Genshin. You talked about last night from the beginning of
and the outcome
Genshin.
was better than we could have
Yeah,
hoped for.
again. Yeah. Pretty much all the stuff we talked about last night would be
I see.
would be
The
ideas
Temple
for
of
making me a little
Silence
more
resorted
invested,
to rather
probably.
unique means of self-preservation. It explains how they managed to remain hidden for so many years.
And it sounds like they managed to preserve a whole load of ancient documents as well. I'd love to go check those out if I ever had the chance.
That day will come. The Temple of Silence is a hugely important organization, and we'll be sure to maintain good relations with them in the future. Now, as a token of my appreciation, I'd like to treat everyone to coffee.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds
Shinichi,
great.
this fictitious character is getting on my
although
nerves.
after the last
I'm going
few
to throw your
days,
phone
I
out the
don't know if I
window.
can handle
Yeah.
another coffee. but I can just order something
There
else.
is a
Sure.
reason they got
Let's
it
go.
is, yeah, they got animals involved specifically. I won't get into it because it's incredibly stupid and again just fucked up, and I don't like talking about it. But it is a thing that happened, and I truly hope that the fact that it did happen is not the reason why that character hasn't shown up in a while. Because way to give into the demands of complete and utter psychopaths. If that was a thing, if there was any correlation between the fact that that character hasn't been seen in a while, I will say I'm a little, I do wonder. I almost wonder if those incidents happening isn't why Arlecchino ended up getting a little whitewashed for her actual release. I'm not walking all the way out of here. Genshin does have that thing where you can put characters in your home and talk to them, yeah. Maybe they just want to protect the cats. I can like, y'all know me. I can respect the need to protect the cats, but I also am a firm believer in not giving into the demands of complete psychopaths for completely arbitrary reasons.
And then the traveler
I would much rather the Chinese man-children asshole dipshits who did this in the first place just grow the fuck up.
He put up an amazing fight too.
And accept the fact that not every character exists to pander to them.
Whoa. Part of me wishes I'd been there to see it, but
Because, quite frankly, the reason so many of these characters come off as vapid and uninteresting is because they exist solely to be for you mouthpieces without much distinct personality.
But it has livened up.
I like it when characters get saucy with me.
Hey, Paimon included all the juicy details. The traveler just pounced.
I love that
and then
Yamato's a
waved her
colossal
sword like
piece of
this,
shit.
Then spun around and blocked.
Despite winning 3 bouts in a row, you still ceded the position of leader.
I like Arlecchino, but I
It's
would have
very
liked her a
dignified of
lot
you,
more
Cyno. Of course.
if she had been the
Being dignified comes with being
the
a true
complete
champion.
psychopath that we were led to believe she was.
I got to be a champion too for once. I've not sparred much with desert folk before. It was a pretty unique experience.
Again, it's possible, like, the character, like, it's not like he has any reason to show up anyway, right? Like, again, we haven't had any plot-relevant stuff in Sumeru since we did his initial quest, right?
Yeah.
So it could just be a
Place.
coincidence.
It felt like something right out of an epic poem. Imagine this. It was like there was...
Any Karma Tree Gold, I think, would be worth
Maybe
50k
save
or
that one for
100k.
later,
That's
Paimon.
up to y'all.
Dessert's here.
I'd love to add some more options for that, because I know some people have a huge stockpile at this point, but I don't know what would be quote-unquote fair / feasible for me to do.
For today.
Shall we stop off at the House of Dana again before heading home? We should probably finish putting all those books back.
My thoughts exactly. See you around.
Oh my god, they're gonna totally have
I should get
smegs
going as
instead of
well.
putting the books
See
back.
you all later.
Tee-hee-tee-hee.
Make sure you get some good rest tonight.
I need to go say thanks to the Core 30 for their help. Also, Sir Nephis says he wanted to introduce me to some of the Academia's work processes. So, I gotta dash too.
Kali's come a long way. She's much more confident at dealing with other people these days.
Yeah, she can even lie to people
Everyone's
like
a work in
Hatsune Miku.
progress. You never stop learning.
Yeah, true.
100k points, switch to another game for 10 minutes. Totally not a massive hassle for everyone involved.
That was good. It feels like everything's finally wrapped up now. Life is all about these moments when you can finally relax and hang out
Life
with good
is
friends
like a
after
boat.
a job well done. And also, those desserts Cyno got, they were really good. Paimon definitely needs more of those in the future.
Nobody knows
Do
who
you three have
I
anything
really
planned for the rest of the day?
am.
If not, would you come somewhere with me?
Life is like a snail.
That's a secret for now. Wouldn't want to
6
spoil the surprise.
billion people.
Okay. I think I can guess what you're talking
It
about.
is simply
It'll
unfair.
definitely be a nice surprise.
Well, now Paimon's curious. Come on, let's go.
I never felt this empty before, and if I ever need someone to count on, oh, Who's gonna comfort me and keep me strong? Fuck. God damn it, I hate that fucking ending so fucking much. I was gonna say, yeah, Gavrick, I'm guessing you only know that much because of memes, right? You don't know the full context.
Been a while since I last made my way up
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, look at this place!
Yeah, no, not the worst idea.
High up!
Need any help?
Don't underestimate me.
As you wish.
Paimon will always
It's a
come
nice
from.
spot, isn't it?
What a great view! We're so high up, we can see for miles!
Traveler.
I know you probably meant comfort, and that's a typo, but it's way, way funnier the way you spelled it. What's up, my guy?
Turn around.
I'm high as fuck. Also pretty sunset.
This is my secret base. Somewhere I only bring my best friends. When I was a student, I used to slip away and climb up here all the time.
Oh, this
to
was way
clear my
longer than the
head.
event. That event was super short.
I was quite young then.
The events are not usually that
Had to
that
meet
short.
some
I'm
new
pretty
friends.
pretty sure even that shitty
Back
potion
then,
event I did
had a
off
lot
screen
of the
was
same
longer than that,
questions that Sethos was asking.
which is very sad.
Who am I? Why do I have this power? And what should I be fighting for?
What am I
Our
fighting
gifts
for?
help us to find our rightful place in the world. That was my experience. And I'm sure Sethos will figure things out in his own time, too.
It depends on how quickly he gets a hang out of it. As long as these are the same thing, as always, my choice doesn't matter, so why give me the option? Just let my fucking character talk. How about that? Yeah, you mentioned it was only two parts secret, I remember. Vaguely.
I feel the same way.
You're one tough cookie, my guy.
Of course. I see no need to be humble when it comes to the facts.
At least in
I
actual
still
universe.
remember one time when we came up here to chat and do our homework.
According to
Cyno
shitty online
accidentally
tier
dropped
lists,
a fruit.
your C tier.
Luckily, he has fast reflexes, so he caught it just in time.
That was the one and only time. Nothing will ever slip through my fingers
I could
again.
accept the idea of Cyno being C tier,
Those
by the
were
way.
good times.
But not so long as
I
people
kinda
like
miss the
Z are in
student
that
life.
tier with him.
You know, Paimon really shouldn't be able to imagine
If
Cyno
he's in
doing
C
something
tier,
like
Dia
that,
is
but
in
for
F,
some
if not
strange
G
reason,
tier.
the mental image is coming through clear as day.
Then make it stop. There's somebody there. It's Professor Cyrus. You guys carry on without me. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Huh? Hey, you're not supposed to jump down. Be careful.
What tier should Ito be in? Ito was also in C tier. Ito is actually also in that same tier. That one I'm a little more understanding of because, like, Geo... There's no nice way to say it. Geo sucks. Also, wait, I can check this time. You fucking... I hate you, game. I hate you so fucking much. I don't know what asshole keeps making these trial characters, but I just want to talk with a chainsaw. The Geo thing. It's... Ito. It's a little more understandable. He's very good. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I do get it because the fact is Geo just kind of sucks and has, like, no proper reaction synergy with any other element, aka the core idea of the game. So Geo as a whole, just in general, ends up falling really flat and is kind of useless in a lot of scenarios. And Ito in particular has arguably been power crept by Navia. A lot of people, I believe Navia was higher up on that tier list, and a lot of people will tell you these days that Navia is better, last I checked.
Oh my days. I can't believe how stupid I look in this one.
Professor, what are you muttering to yourself about?
Cyno. Ha, just the man I'm looking for. Guess what I found in some old notebooks?
Some old photos?
Can you believe it? This notebook was just sitting in a pile of odds and ends in the sage's office.
Yeah, no.
I must have forgotten to take it with me.
Unless they decide
and no
to
one's
fix
touched
Geo,
it since.
aka
Still
add
right
reactions,
there.
add
I
more
was at the
elemental reactions to
Academia
it, then yeah,
earlier to
no.
discuss my
It's just
workload
stuck
with
that way.
Nephis. I swung by the old office to have a look around and just happened to cross
It's the right until then, it's just the weird
time
leopard
flies.
element.
Look how
that can
tiny you
only
are in
function
this
with
picture.
itself.
Still a kid.
Also,
You
baby
look like
Cyno.
one yourself in
Cyno.
that one.
Very, very cute.
Ah,
I saw
it's
that.
this one. I remember that. Lisa took it, didn't she?
Yep. Looks like her work, all right. Who else could have found just the right angle to make me look so unbelievably hideous?
I wasn't looking at you. I was
And
looking at
this
baby
one.
Cyno.
Looks like we're both dozing off.
Cheeky girl.
Can we
Taking
actually see
secret
the rest of them,
photos us
please?
without our knowledge.
Is there something you'd like to say to me, Professor?
Can you draw more than one picture?
Like what? Like, these are good photos, aren't they? Hey, at moments like this, I hardly know where to begin. I can't pretend I'm a good person. But Moon had every reason to despise me. And well, so do you if you feel the same way.
Don't be ridiculous, you old codger.
Is that not what you wanted me to say? Oh, I've dreamt of that place many times after leaving the desert. Sometimes I've dreamed that I was doing research with them again. And other times, I dream of the day they saved my life. Oh, it was one of the happiest times of my life. We all learned so much from one another. You've matured so much over the years, Cyno.
Since you're my professor, I should save you some face by not calling you out on all the non-answers you just gave. So, I will do the right thing and keep my mouth shut.
Good thinking. Take your own advice next time. Seriously, why bully an old man like me? I thought heroes were supposed to be gracious. Hey, wait, how did I not notice this one earlier?
Lisa strikes again. Just how many did she take?
Show us, cowards!
Look how cute you were
Oh.
when you were little.
Show us his face!
Remember how well-mannered you were.
Show
back
us his
then,
big
too.
dumb baby face!
Yeah, and look how serious and professional you used to be.
Oh, I can't compete with you anymore. First you get better than me at the deadpan jokes, and now you're besting me at those little quips too.
Don't say that. I still have a
Still
lot of
image.
respect for you.
It's fine. This
That's
is
more
a still
like
image because they're literally looking at a photograph.
Hey.
I can
what would you say to
understand that
meeting up
one.
with Lisa again
Also, they
sometime?
didn't linger on it for 5 minutes and ask why birds
I'd
fly.
like that. Let's find a time and pay her a visit in Mondstadt.
All right, I'll add it to my
Chat, I
schedule.
completely forgot.
Let's
I got
go
a
next
text
week.
message from Robin today
Wait,
in-game,
no.
in Star Rail,
Next week
asking
is
me
the
if her brother
tomato
told
growing
me the story
competition.
about the bird.
I've got to beat Zaha Hadid.
Or you could find a real hobby,
I almost threw my
Professor.
phone across the room. Like, funny you should mention that, Robin. As a matter of fact, Bird would like your location. That was an alright one.
Great view today. This atmosphere calls for
Better
a
than
joke
his
out of
first
left
one.
field, to catch the listener unawares.
This one was at least a little more about him, I'd say. Again, it's Genshin. A little wordy. Little lore heavy, but Paimon shut up for most of it, and I like Cyno and I like Kagi. And it was cool to hear Cyno. Even if I'm worried, even if I'm not terribly convinced that character's gonna have any lasting relevance going forward, because he's just a 4-star probably. And that's sad to think about. He seems fun. I like his design. He's Claude. Robin, I don't think we did. Maybe you should tell us again in long detail. Anyway, again, better than. It's like, I don't know, what's better? What's all? Everybody has a different metric of like quality, and I myself flip-flop on it. Like, I don't know what's technically better / less insulting to your audience. Something that's kind of dry and boring versus something that's just an incomprehensible mess, but like I guess it gives you a little more to talk about. Yeah, it's like, oh, terrible exposition or Paimon. Again, Paimon shut up for most of this one. So I'm being nice. I don't know, again. Just maybe I need a break from this too. Which I might do, like I said, because even trying to save up gems for Clorin, who I was super excited about. Back when, I was super excited for her back when she first showed up. I almost feel like too much time has passed. I feel like I'd be more excited if, we hadn't gotten so much other, crap to get to her. Also, the fact that she's coming out next to Siegewind, who I also wanted, and I know I ain't gonna be able to get both, if either, but, Did he tell you the story about the bird? I'm so sorry. He does that to everyone. He did it at the grocery store a week ago to our cashier. It's a good story, man. Just likes telling stories about dead birds. Alright. Whatever. I'm not gonna debate which is better or worse, but, yeah. Choose Genshin, because, yeah, I'm shitting on it still. Yeah, fair enough. But, yeah, like I said, just, I'm in a weird spot with all of these games right now. Depending on, like, what kind of events are happening next patch. Like, if some kind of cool event is happening next patch, then I'll be like, oh, yeah, absolutely. But if it's another thing like the fucking potion event, then I'm probably just gonna do it off screen again. And possibly just kind of take a break like I am with, Again, I keep saying that I'm on a break with Honkai Impact 3rd. I think I'm just done. I genuinely don't think they could win me back. Once again, doing my brain doing that thing where it goes through list of scenarios in my head and like, okay, what could they do to win me back? A new Mobius suit, maybe. She got me in there in the first place. If they somehow found an excuse to bring her back and give her a new suit, maybe, but no, even that, not really. But yeah, I'll just play it by ear. I'll let people let me know what kind of, or I'll wait until the, you know, the inevitable, in-game ads, not ads, but, the UI gives me at least an inkling of what's happening, and if it looks interesting, I'll do it on screen. May do a character quest. If Clorin's getting a character quest, I'll probably do that, because I do like her. Interested to finally know more about her. And I might even maybe hop in at some point to actually do these other two girls. I keep kind of shitting on them because it's just kind of amusing to me at this point, but, like, I don't like leaving stuff undone. Maybe I'll find an excuse to do these on screen at some point if I just need a filler, a slow thing to do for the day. But, otherwise, I think we're done for a bit. At least until the next patch. So, alright. I'm gonna stop rambling, get myself some OJ, and, watch at least a little bit of Parasite, assuming people aren't too tired for it. Glasses girl in fashion. I'm slightly more interested in Bayonetta than I am in her, because we at least met her during the Lantern Ride, and even then, we know her before that. She's the bird lady. Who birds. And we were supposed to meet her before they're doing that event, apparently. We broke sequence, but whatever. But yeah. Bayonetta, she looks like Bayonetta. At least I think. Head to bed, stand shitting on Genshin too. Nighty-night, you have a good one. But alright. Anyway, thank you all very, very much for joining me. Special thanks to Fusion, Ninja, Go-Kart tier patrons, Vroom Vroom. If you want to help support Xeno Robinson, check out links in the description. Love you guys. Nighty-night.